What about now? Can you hear us now? Where is that? I can't see anybody. Safari. Hold on. I lost the page. I got too many pages up. That might be the reason. Trump 2020 in the bag for sure. 100% true. Becky in the house. M Death fan in the house. Sotu? What does Sotu mean? What does Satyu mean? Uh, audio is not synced with your lips. That's not good. Let's see. What happened? Why is the audio not synced with my lips? Let's try this. Camacho 2020. Wait. Type 22 if my audio and my lips are synced in your world. Sync is getting better. Let me do this. Let me change it. We're on 5G. Let me get everybody else off of 5G. How's everybody doing today? Close to 22. Okay. All right. Sync is getting better. All right. Good. Good. Well, ladies and gentlemen, here we are. Pete Buttigieg supposedly beat Joe Biden by full 2 percentage points. And Sleepy Joe Biden came in fourth. And this is the guy that is supposed to be the guy that Donald Trump was scared of. Sleepy Joe Biden. Yeah, Bobby, I'd never heard about this individual either until recently. So, what can you do? What's up, Sean? What's up, Sean? Did I send you the links on the DNC investing money into Shadow Inc? No, but let me do it right now. I mean, Ben, this is something that you'd only read on like a badly written comic, right? Like, oh, really? Shadow Inc is the bad guys. Ooh, Shadow Inc. I don't know if you remember in Street Fighter, but the in Street Fighter, M Bison's gang was called Shadulu or Shadow Law. And here we are. It legitimately happened. It was Shadulu that screwed us. Just so we know, guys, I don't have a problem with messing with Pete Buttigieg's name, but we're not doing any homophobia. We're not doing any anti-LGBT stuff on my forum. I'm a big free speech guy. I'm also a this is my freaking platform guy. So, if you want to call him Booty Judge and all this, I'm good with that. I'm good with messing with his name, but let's we're not doing any anti-LGBT stuff. What a train wreck dumpster fire that was last night. What do you mean last night? We're still in the train wreck dumpster fire, brother. What are you talking about? Tina in the house. Have they found a way to blame Trump for the Dem Iowa caucus implosion yet? No, but I'm waiting for the Russia-Ukraine connection. I'm waiting for the Russia connection, particularly from what's her face, the one that said we were going to get frozen out of Fargo. Worth noting, acronym, one of Shadow Inc.'s biggest investors, is heavily tied to Hillary. This is great. So one of the investors' acronym is heavily tied to Hillary. I posted the proof on the Middle America webpage on Facebook, where Pete Buttigieg gave about $42,408 on two payments of $21,402 to this group. So here we go. Stephen Schaus in the house. Yes, Heimdall's Gate. Rachel Maddow, thank you. So here we go, guys. I mean, this is ridiculous stuff. This is unbelievable stuff. I can't believe that this is my country right now, but it is. What can you do? Did you hear Schiff say that Trump could offer Alaska to Russia in exchange for help in the election? Just for everybody, this is the reason why I've been going so hard as an anti-impeachment person. This is why. It's stuff like this right here that just happened. The app that Pete Buttigieg, that made him the winner, he invested $41,000 in. The Democratic National Convention changed the rules at the last second for a billionaire who's basically bought his way into the election. Not only is the app very questionable from the person who supposedly beat Bernie Sanders, but the app is also tied to the Clinton administration. And when we think about what happened in 2016, the idea that the Russians are the problem or that Ukrainians were the problem is patently ridiculous. It's the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life, and it is an exercise in looking away from the real problem. The Democratic National Convention is the problem. The attitude of the plutocrats in the DNC is completely condescending, paternalistic, maternalistic, and completely insulting to the average American. And I'm not just talking about Don Lemon's little chuckle at how dumb Trump supporters are. I am talking about the entire apparatus. And this entire 3 years, they have been trying to get us to focus away from their actions that put us in the situation that we're in currently, and to focus on resurrecting the Red Scare and trying to take this ridiculous, silly phone call to Zelensky and blow it up into something that has nothing to do with anything. Crying about our democracy. Adam Schiff crying, oh my gosh, our democracy is dying, yada, yada, yada. And then they do stuff like this. This is why I've been so angry about the impeachment nonsense. This is the reason. I've been accused of being pro-Trump. Oh, do we have the poppers?
Yeah, of course. Why not?
Oh, we do? Okay. Jazakallah.
It's easier if you just tell me everything all at the same time. So finish my project and then
actually don't need two things of steak.
Okay. I didn't know what you wanted.
So. I love you. What's up, Mortis? So, I mean, this is the reason why. This is the reason why I've been the way that I've been. And, it's really nothing different from what they did in 2016, other than the fact that it's a lot more blatant and it's a lot more obvious now. But none of us should be surprised, considering they did this in an unrepentant fashion in 2016. It's hard to imagine the DNC could get any more incompetent than they do it. Refs gave Mahomes that Super Bowl ring for sure. Yeah, refs and Shanahan, who should have kept running the ball. The Chiefs were ranked 27th in the NFL. You had Honey Badger at the end of the game saying, thank God they stopped running the ball. It's, Shanahan wanted to make a point that Jimmy G was more than just a guy who could hand the ball off. And we've seen this happen over and over again. We saw it with Pete Carroll with Beast Mode. We've seen this over and over again. But Vin, the Dems' reason for impeachment is just concern about preserving the Constitution. Correct. That was BS. I've been saying it's BS from the beginning, and I hope now people can understand why I've been the way that I've been. And why I've been saying very early on, after Trump gets his reelection, I'm just going to play a whole collage of clips of me talking to people on these firesides and me telling people this attitude is going to get this man reelected. I've been saying that he's going to get reelected for about 3 years now. Not because he was going to boost the economy or anything like that, but because of the attitude of folks on the extreme left as well as what's going on in the media. These people genuinely do not understand. They don't understand regular American people. Coronavirus should be the big story. Currently, more people have died from the flu than coronavirus in the United States. I'm definitely taking coronavirus very seriously, but I'm not particularly certain that it should outstrip what just happened to all of us yesterday night. Yes, Rich Yonkers, you can call in. Yeah, I mean, you got to give it to Mahomes, Ben. I mean, he definitely did his thing. He did very well. You can't take anything from him. He did a great job. I do think that those two calls from the refs, though, were pretty controversial. I'm re-downloading Skype, guys, so that we can have call-in, because this definitely needs to be a call-in show at this point. You guys need to be able to participate. Nobody wants to just sit here and hear Vin ramble for 2 hours or however long this nonsense is going to be. I shouldn't say that. He's a president. He deserves respect. However long this State of the Union is going to be. So let me download my Skype app, and then we should be good to go pretty soon here. Also true. The flu doesn't cause a country to quarantine entire cities and fill up hospitals. You're right about that. This is something really, really, really crazy. He's polling at 49% approval right now. It'd be interesting to compare his same polling at this time in 2016. You're right. And what has the DNC given Donald Trump this week? We had a meltdown on Monday, which was yesterday. We had a perfect setup for him to completely mock and deride the DNC today. And tomorrow, they're going to give him another win in a Senate victory over this impeachment stupidity. And now, what's going to happen in the psychology of your average American is they're going to say, wait a second, as this news starts to trickle out about how Buttigieg gave $42,000+ to this group that, surprise made him the winner out of nowhere, how the Clintons were involved in this, how Buttigieg's girlfriend's whatever was involved in this. I'm going to make an actual video of this when I get all the facts straight, middle America-wise. As the American public begins to hear this, and then they're going to say, so wait a second, that is okay. That's not a killer of our democracy, but a call to Zelensky is. For Biden, who ended up in 4th place. So the DNC, there has got to be a Trump operative. Has to be. I don't want to hear it. There's got to be a Trump operative in the in the DNC. There has to be. You literally can't convince me otherwise. And I know it's probably a dumb conspiracy theory, but you will never convince me otherwise that the DNC is this incompetent and inept. I am not sure that the DNC is inept and incompetent because I am not sure that this is not exactly what they wanted to happen. This is what they wanted to happen, folks. You can call them inept if you want. I mean, I guess we can say they're inept at covering themselves and pretending. They're probably inept at not being so obvious. But as far as what they wanted to accomplish, this is clearly what they wanted to accomplish. This is insane. Rammstein and Foxborough in September. Are you going, Vin? I've got a bunch of emails to check from some of these publicists. I didn't. So if Rammstein is on that list, we'll definitely be going. I don't know how in the world we're going to interview them, but here we are. So I don't know. I know this is a little bit early, guys. Leah had texted me and told me that the State of the Union is actually at 9 p.m., but I figured it'd be good to have some conversations and fellowship or whatever, as Christians call it, because, my Lord. Do you think this was planned to take out Bernie? Absolutely. This was absolutely planned to target Bernie Sanders. Everything that the Democrats have been doing for the last 3 years is about them knowing that they were never going to let Bernie get the nomination and that they knew they could not have an establishment Democrat beat Donald Trump, but they did feel like they could beat Michael Pence. That is my theory. And so everything they've been doing, from Mueller to Ukraine to this nonsense, is all for the same thing. They knew that Bernie could beat Trump, but they didn't want Bernie, and they knew that there was nobody else in the field, especially an establishment Dem like Kamala Harris, Elizabeth Warren, or Cory Booker. None of these people were going to be able to go toe-to-toe with Trump and beat him like Bernie would. They knew what they were going to do to Bernie already, because they had already done in 2016, and this is a big reason for the impeachment push. Facts. The fact that Adam Schiff is not speaking out against this in the emotional way that he spoke out against everything else. Mr. Schiff had nothing to say when it was revealed that Hillary was running the DNC while she was a candidate. Adam Schiff had nothing to say about that. Now all of a sudden, Mr. Schiff cares about the Constitution and our democratic process. How stupid do these people think we really are? Stop it. Unbelievable. No, you're right. Oh, where is Adam Schiff when the DNC just randomly changed the rules to let a billionaire enter into the event? Where was Adam Schiff? Where was he? Where was he? Where was tearful Adam Schiff, the patriot? Yeah. Trump and Melania just got into the motorcade, so they should be up. I'll play the audio. I won't play the video because it'll probably get blocked after that. Bernie ideas sound great. People are scared about who's going to pay for it. I understand that. Hillary bailed out the DNC to the tune of $24 million when they were in debt after 2012. Yeah, I know what Hillary did. It was a power play, and it was a successful power play, and that's how she got the nomination, Tina. It was also highway robbery of the only candidate that would have beaten Trump in 2016, which got us the mess that we're in now, which is now being perpetuated by the same silly group of people. This steak is really good. Sori's the greatest cook of all time, I'm telling you. What? Trump at 53%? No way. Leah, verify that for me. Is your man at 53%? You see that dude that works for Bernie that was in the first Project Veritas video got in trouble today? He got arrested. Yeah, the guy's a terrorist. You know, if that guy would have been a Trump associate and he would have been talking about, you know, Nazism or white nationalism and saying all this, Trump would have had to buy an ABC special to explain that away. So, I know. The whole thing's a sham. All these people being offended about stuff, it's all a sham, it's all a lie. Vin, did you see the video of the lady who wanted to take her vote for Buttigieg back after learning he was gay? No, but I'm glad she couldn't take it back. That's what you get for being that ignorant about the candidate. Unbelievable. You're gonna take it back because you found out he was gay. I mean, keep in mind, 49% is massive for Trump. It's the highest he's ever had since he got elected. And this is the day before his acquittal that's going to happen tomorrow. And it's the day after the Iowa meltdown. What is that telling you? What's that telling you about what America thinks right now? What's up, Chandler Bong? Chan Andler Bong. Sorry, I think we're all gonna need you tonight, my guy. I think we're all gonna need you tonight. Obama's was only at 43 at this point in his term. Yeah. 53% approve of his military choices. No, 53 is his military choices. Well, bombing Soleimani was part of his military choices, so that's over half the country. I mean, wow. What in the world? What in the world is going on? So we're watching from CNN. We're not going to be watching from Fox News. I rotate every day. So I had to watch Fox News all last night, and they were covering the Iowa thing. And then now, so what I try to do is like the opposite, right? So like the Iowa thing was mostly about the Democrats, even though there was a Republican Iowa thing. But so I had the Fox perspective on Iowa, and now we're getting the CNN perspective on Trump's State of the Union address. So here we are. You got to listen to people that don't agree with you. You have to. I don't agree with any of these people, Fox or CNN or MSNBC, but there's nothing I can do about it. I'm in a sour mood, guys. I'm sorry. I'm not my regular smiley, charismatic self. I'm extremely frustrated tonight. I got to tell you guys. And I really appreciate you guys coming around and hanging out with me and dealing with my miserable self. There's Nancy Pelosi and then Mike Pence. Mike Pence looks like a bad guy from an X-Men cartoon. I mean, it's just this is a joke. Sorry, guys. I'm in a terrible... I'll probably, once I get some more food in my belly, I'll probably be better company. Vin needs more steak. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, no, yeah, you're probably right. The defense of the embassy. Yeah, I get it. And, you know, I give it to him because people are thinking Benghazi and the way that Benghazi was handled. I obviously, Glenn Doherty, one of the guys that died, I mean, he was a good dude. He was a very, very good dude.
that President Obama did after the State of the Union and go.
Yeah, so now they're talking about whether or not Trump is going to be able to stick to the script. I hope, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. I think it's a filet something or other, but the way she spices it and stuff, it's pretty beautiful. Are you on the left or the right? It depends on who's analyzing me. I showed Sori a screenshot. There was one guy saying you should call it Left America, and then literally right under it was a guy that went in this big diatribe about how I'm a Christian fascist and I only care about Donald Trump and yada 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 yada. So, yeah, the House. I said it. The House is gonna flip. The House is going red. I think Trump is gonna crush whoever they put up there. There's going to be a landslide in the popular vote, landslide in the electoral college, and I think there's going to be a massive, massive red shift like you wouldn't believe at the House level, and they're going to strengthen the Senate. That's what I believe is going to happen. That's what I believe is going to happen. Yeah, I don't know why everybody's wearing white. I have no idea. I mean, you got to give props whether Trump is just a lucky or calculating things like that embassy defense in the Benghazi couldn't have been more fortunate. You're right. The thing about Trump is, and being in the business world, you take advantages of opportunities when they come up, and he has every single time the man has an opportunity, he takes advantage of it. Because Trump really, I don't understand how he does this, but he really gets America. He gets America. He understands why he won. And to this moment, it's obvious the DNC doesn't understand why they lost. It's clear. Obama was a good speaker. Trump is a doer. I think that Trump is a good speaker too. He's just not as articulate and as polished as Obama was, but Obama was speaking to a different group of people. Obama's speaking to these people on CNN, these people, the plutocrats. Trump is speaking to the common man. That's the difference. And so in that respect, he's extremely articulate. There's what's that guy's name? The black dude, Mr. Whitelash. This was a Whitelash. Y'all remember that? 2016, it was a Whitelash. All those people that voted for Obama for 2 consecutive years put us in a situation where we had a black president for 8 years. All of a sudden they woke up and said, well, Barack Obama, he's black. We need to vote Trump in office. That's him, Van Jones, talking. That's one of the main reasons that these people are going to get blitzed in this election. Because they continue to frame every single person who voted for Trump as a racist. That's one of the reasons you're going to lose miserably. Don't wave your steak at me, sir. That's so rude. That's so rude of me. Hey, Nate. I'll tell you, we're in the sauna at the gym. This thing works wonders, I'm telling you. It makes for a very brutal workout afterward, but it's good. I could never comprehend what Obama was saying. Should read his speeches, I guess. Yeah. Didn't Van Jones just say the other day that Iowa shouldn't even be the first caucus because people are 90%? 100%. That's exactly what he said. That's exactly what he said. 90% white. Ridiculous. Now all of a sudden, it shouldn't be there because it's 90% white. That's when they thought that Bernie was going to win. That's before the DNC pulled the rabbit out of the hat that they did to us last night. Democrats are secretly racist because they bring up race more than I've been saying it, McDonald. I've been saying it. I'm not saying all Democrats, but this idea that the Republican Party is a party of racists and that the Democrats are the party of progressive who include everybody is ridiculous. They're racist as hell. I don't know if you guys saw the Super Bowl commercial, but the black lady that was thanking Donald John Trump because he helped reverse the crime bill, which was authored by Joe 330 Biden, and then buttressed by Hillary Rodham. These black kids are super predators who need to be brought to heel Clinton. So they're not all racist, but a bunch of them are racist as hell. Hillary, I bring hot sauce in my bag, Clinton. Y'all know that? She bought hot sauce in her bag. This woman is so tone deaf, she doesn't even know when she's insulting people. You're gonna go on the Breakfast Club and tell everybody that you carry hot sauce in your bag. What is what do black people eat on their food? Oh, hot sauce. Okay, I'll put the hot sauce on our bag. Yeah. Here's Pelosi.
In the way that people feel afraid, and especially people from immigrant communities. I know you make a big distinction between not undocumented. If you're a Latino in this country or a Latino, that distinction begins to break down. You're seeing people in Walmart and stuff being attacked and mistreated. There is a poisonous atmosphere in the country, and a lot of this rhetoric is added to that. And I think that Republicans would do better if they would, I think, acknowledge a little bit more that these foreign policy distinctions don't play out so well in communities, and that communities want to feel like the president's their president should. I think this is probably one of the times in American history that I'm aware of where you do have people who literally say, that is just your president. It's your president, it's not my president, because I don't feel the
Here's Van Jones. This is the only time in American history where people say, that's your president, he's not my president. Van Jones, there were presidents all through the times of slavery in the United States, Mr. Jones. When women couldn't vote, there were presidents all over the place. Those presidents weren't representing women when they couldn't even vote. These women had to do a women's suffragist movement in order to get the right to vote. Could they say that the president at the time was their president? What the hell are you talking about? These people, they act like none of us know history. Trump is the first president where people said, that's not my president. When Bush got elected in 99, 2000, I was in New York City. I went to Greenwich Village. I wish I still had it. I had a He's Not My President shirt with an image of Bush on the shirt. Everybody says it every year that it's not my president. The Tea Partiers were saying that Barack Obama wasn't representing them in their interests and they felt left out. What are you talking about? This is the first time a person said this is not my president. There's Adam Schiff. I'm looking at CNN. There's Adam Schiff smiling and all that. What are you smiling about, Adam Schiff? You should be scared about our democracy considering what just happened in Iowa. Don't you care? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Isn't that racist to think that all black people put hot sauce on their food? Yeah, exactly, Tina. That's the point. It's also racist to believe that black people are so dumb that we wouldn't figure out what the hell she was doing. That's the thing about Hillary. She completely lacks self-awareness. That's why she lost. Because she was literally the worst candidate on the face of the planet Earth. Honestly, the worst candidate on the face of the earth. Of course, Heimdall's Gate. She should have just said watermelon and fried chicken, collard greens. That's why I'm under no illusion that the Democratic Party is a party of the black man. Ridiculous. I don't think you give Hillary enough credit. I think she's self-aware. I think she's just plain evil and justifies it by saying, well, this is what everyone does. I mean, maybe. I have a hard time believing that a person who is that hungry for power would make the mistakes that she makes if she had any form of self-awareness. But you could be right. All the while, actual left policy is cut out of the conversation because of neoliberal hollow virtue signaling on the Hill. Correct. These people try to turn this impeachment stuff into a moral moment for the country, instead of what it actually was and is, a simple power grab, just like what we saw in Iowa last night. Honestly, I'm supposed to believe that Pete Buttigieg has almost a clean 2% lead over over Bernie Sanders.
Where they have the first female speaker presiding over this State of the Union, and of course what will be likely again another awkward moment when the President of the United States walks up and says hello to her after the two of them haven't even spoken in about 4 months.
That could be awkward too. Manu Raju is up on Capitol Hill. You're there, Manu, in the chamber. What do you see?
Yeah, right now I'm looking right at the House impeachment managers themselves, who are sitting towards the front of the chamber.
The impeachment managers.
Is going to make contact with them at some point throughout the proceedings, and I've been watching the members interact so far. While there are
the
some
impeachment
members
managers
reaching across the aisle and talking to some of their fellow colleagues across the aisle, for the most part, Republicans and Democrats keeping to themselves amid this very acrimonious.
There's Kamala. Oh man.
Whether or not to actually skip tonight's State of the Union. One Democratic woman, Gwen Moore,
you should have skipped it.
Extremely difficult for her to come. She said she just thought about it, but ultimately decided to come. But at least two have decided to skip, including Ayanna Pressley and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, two freshman members. But it just shows you how tense this moment is. And Nancy Pelosi, I'm told, urged her members to be dignified in their response in the face of potential taunting.
AOC refused to come to the State of the Union. Now, everybody got all offended when I said AOC was a child.
Right, so these are just sort of a preview of
she refused to come.
The comeback is the theme that the White House is saying.
This is supposed to be the next president in 8 to 12 years. She can't even deal with the State of the Union from a president she dislikes. The Supreme Court had to sit there while Barack Hussein Obama lied about them. Poor John Roberts, all he could do is shake his head and say that's not true. But they sat there and took it like men. Come on, AOC, put on your big girl pants and show up to the State of the Union.
And, that's going to be, again...
Same thing with Ayanna Pressley, man. These people... It's unbelievable to me. It's absolutely unbelievable what has happened to the Democratic Party. These are the people that have taken control of the Democratic Party by utilizing social media. Pelosi never wanted to impeach Trump. She never did. AOC bullied her into doing it on Twitter. And these are the people that she capitulated to. People who are so childish that they won't even come to the State of the Union. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. AOC picked up a dead shift at the bar down the street. There's Melania. There's Melania. Go ahead, Sister Minister. Hey, I am not a fan of any disrespect of any first lady. I wasn't a fan of it with Michelle. I thought Michelle Obama carried herself with grace and tact. She is a role model to my black daughter. And I also love the way that Melania handles herself with grace and tact. I will tolerate no disrespect of Melania Trump. How's the outrage going? Oh, there's no outrage. We're doing pretty good. We're doing pretty good. To death. That's one. If you say anything like that again, you're out, my guy. I'm not even mad at you. I'm sure you're a beautiful human being. We're not doing that in this forum.
Obviously, Rush Limbaugh suffering from serious cancer, as you noted.
Madam Speaker, the President's Cabinet.
No, I don't think Pelosi is a good person. And I don't think AOC is a bad person. I just think she's incredibly immature. That's what I think. Melania's personality is polar opposite to Trump.
One of the first cabinet positions that would create Secretary of the Treasury,
Who, AOC? Nah, man, I'm not outraged at AOC. I am outraged at the DNC, though. AOC is probably getting the spillover. But I'm just sick of these people. Pelosi has a 40-ounce under her chair. Yes, Pinky. Yeah, Ben, I wouldn't take your experience to be the regular experience of other people in this forum. I've banned a couple people. You always escape because you always escape. Who do I support? I support the American people. I think Bernie Sanders has the best package to win. I also think that he would have brought in Tulsi and Andrew Yang, and they would have formed an amazing coalition that would have helped the American people. I am not an anti-Trumper. I do not believe the goal of this election is to beat Trump. I believe the goal of this election should be to improve living conditions for people in this country. And that Bernie Sanders has been focused on that for damn near 40 years now. And all the Democratic Party has been focusing on is beating Trump and regaining power. So that is the side that I'm on. And I don't care who is Democrat or Republican or Independent or Green Party or whatever, fill in the blank. Whoever's got a plan to make it so that I don't have to wake up ever again and read about people dying needlessly in my country because of healthcare and predatory capitalism is the person I want to vote for. That's my perspective. Comrade Sanders is a communist. Vin disqualified. What do you mean by that? By that, Mr. Foss? What do you mean by that, Mr. Foss? What do you mean he's a communist? Because he doesn't believe that we should have pharmaceutical companies and the healthcare industrial complex running people over and killing them because they can't afford to get healthcare? Because he believes in holding these predatory banks accountable from preying on these little 18-year-old kids and putting them in hundreds of thousands of dollars of debt that they're not going to get out of till they're in their mid-30s so that they cannot accumulate generational wealth for themselves and their families. That makes him a communist and disqualified.
Meanwhile, Republican senators who are condemning the president's actions, such as there's Gerald Nadler, the House Judiciary Committee chairman, his wife is very sick. Meanwhile, even Republican senators who are condemning the president's actions are saying that they think that he has learned from this experience.
Crony capitalism is simply capitalism combined with the political apparatus. The distinction between crony capitalism and capitalism is silly. Sorry. Crony capitalism is simply capitalism. Ask Mike Bloomberg. If you believe in a minimum wage, if you believe in antitrust laws, if you believe in that stuff, that means that you believe that there ought to be some sort of checks and balances to the capitalist enterprise in this country. So to just simply label the man a communist because he doesn't believe that the that the healthcare segment of our country should be dominated by evil people who are fine with thousands of people dying a year because they cannot afford basic things like insulin, then say what you will. There's Trump shaking hands, doing his thing. I'm probably anti-establishment, but if there here's what I mean by I'm not anti-establishment. If there was an establishment candidate who wanted all the things that I listed, then I would be for that guy or that young lady. So I don't care what the person calls themselves. What I care about is the policies. That's what I care about. And if somebody can figure out this gun stuff, that would be awesome too. How will Bernie have open borders and free healthcare? Cicero, I don't believe that Bernie's going to open borders. I don't believe that. So there's that.
That's right. You just saw him shake hands with Brett Kavanaugh, the Supreme Court Justice.
People have been killing each other before the invention of gunpowder. Intention is the issue, not the instrument. Okay, so Boss Moss, should people have RPGs at their disposal? Should they have ICBMs at their disposal? Because the Constitution, the Second Amendment, doesn't specify guns. It says arms. So should I have an RPG? Should I have an ICBM? Bloomberg is a billionaire. I'm sure he can afford a drone or two. Should he be able to have a weaponized drone? Maybe an F-15? Shall not be infringed.
He did not take it.
He didn't shake Pelosi's hand? He didn't shake Pelosi's hand? I missed that.
Members of Congress, the President of the United States.
Well, I think we should have open borders because I'm a Christian. But nobody agrees with me. Not in this forum, not even in my own house. My son, he said, Dad, you're, that's unreasonable, he said. What can you do? What are they saying, 4 more years? Oh. Good. I've got 2 people. Me and Zonia. We agree.
Madam Speaker, Mr. Vice President, members of Congress, the First Lady of the United States.
Yay, Melania. Much love to the big homie, Melania. I'm a Christian. I've been for 30 years, and I still believe in borders. Well, repent. There's always time for you to repent.
3 years ago, we launched the Great American Comeback. Tonight, I stand before you to share the incredible results. Jobs are booming, incomes are soaring, poverty is plummeting, crime is falling, confidence is surging.
She is. You know, Sori did one of those things about what she would look like when she's like 50 or 60. I'm a lucky man.
America's enemies are on the run. America's fortunes are on the rise, and America's future is blazing bright. The years of economic decay are over.
Decay. The years of economic decay are over. I'm 100% for open borders if we abolish government programs and criminalize government land annexation.
Taken advantage of.
Good point.
Scorned by other nations are long behind us.
I still think we're being scorned by other nations, Mr. President.
On to the broken promises, jobless recoveries, tired platitudes, and constant excuses for the depletion of American wealth, power, and prestige. In just 3 short years, we have shattered the mentality of American decline, and we have rejected the downsizing of Americans' destiny. We have totally rejected the downsizing. We're moving forward at a pace that was unimaginable just a short time ago, and we are never, ever going back.
Dems are sabotaging their only best hope for president. Correct. Correct. They'd rather see Trump for 4 years than Sanders for 5 minutes. Correct.
With its power being unmatched anywhere in the world, and it's not even close. Our borders are secure. Our families are flourishing. Our values are renewed. Our pride is restored. And for all of these reasons, I say to the people of our great country and to the members of Congress, the state of our union is stronger than ever before.
MMT. What's MMT? Oh, there's a guy shaking his head. Ah. What's MMT, Ben?
The vision I will lay out this evening.
Pyrrhic losses, Zonia. Pyrrhic losses. Unless you believe that they want Trump reelected, in which case it would be a Pyrrhic victory.
Success, and where every community can take part in America's extraordinary rise. From the instant I took office, I moved rapidly to revive the U.S. economy, slashing a record number of job-killing regulations, enacting historic and record-setting tax cuts, and fighting for fair and reciprocal trade agreements.
Man, that Kushner looks evil as hell, huh? Yes, Father.
Pro-family, enacting historic and record-setting tax cuts, and fighting for fair and...
Oh, is he doing another tax cut? I got a couple rich friends. They're going to be happy about that. I'm serious. I got a couple very rich friends. They're going to be happy for another tax cut.
This isn't dry food or wet food. It's...
Hold on, guys. Hold on. I legitimately think the Dems figure that their place is safer with Trump than Sanders, so he's their only hope they'll side with Trump. I agree. I agree completely. And that is the reason that they did this entire impeachment nonsense, is what you just said. All right, what's going on here?
Rate under my administration is lower than any administration in the history of our country.
Oh, I see what you're saying, Ben. That's really interesting. That's different. Very different. Different idea. Send me a video or something.
The rate under my administration is lower than any administration in the history of our country.
Do you believe legalizing all drugs would stop the violence? No, I do not.
If we hadn't reversed the failed economic policies of the previous administration, the world would not now be witnessing this great economic success.
Yikes. He just sliced him down. You got to admit, Obama didn't do very well with the economy. He didn't. He didn't. You got to admit it. Sorry.
The unemployment rate for African Americans.
Dems don't want Bernie, who's their best chance at winning, so they sabotage his campaign. Okay, okay. You're right. You're right, Z. Oh, my Lord.
The unemployment rate for women reached the lowest level in almost 70 years, and last year women filled 72% of all new jobs added.
Whoa. Is that a true stat? Women filled 72% of all new jobs? That's a win for Trump. I'm sorry, but that's good. All right, 2 girls, man.
Women's unemployment rate dropped to a record low.
Veterans' unemployment rate dropped to a record low. Man, he's kicking ass right now.
The unemployment rate for disabled Americans has reached an all-time low. Workers without a high school diploma have achieved the lowest unemployment rate recorded in U.S. history.
Nobody wants to work for 10 cents on the dollar. That's why they don't want to vote for Bernie. You are ridiculous. Bernie is not going to create an environment where people are working 10 cents on the dollar. Stop it.
Are now employed. Under the last administration, more than 10 million people were added to the food stamp rolls. Under my administration, 7 million Americans have come off food stamps and 10 million people have been lifted off of welfare.
Okay, that might be a win if we figured out how exactly they came off the food stamps. Like, did you boot them off the food stamps, or did they wage earn to the point where they no longer qualified for food stamps, in which case that would be something to celebrate. Okay, get me the source. Get me the source, boss, that says that Bernie Sanders would tax us at 90% a tax rate. Regular people. Please get me that stat.
In just 3 years of my administration, 3.5 million people, working age people, have joined the workforce.
This is obviously Bernie's last chance. I mean, he's going to be, what, 87? He'll be 90 if he gets elected.
The worth of the bottom half of wage earners has increased by 47%, 3 times faster than the increase for the top 1%. After decades of flat and falling incomes, wages are rising fast, and
here's McDonald. Bernie appeals to liberal college students and nobody with a logical mind who understands how our capitalist economy works. Oh yeah, that's the only people Bernie appeals to. Those are the only people. Unbelievable.
This is a blue-collar boom. Real median household income is now at the highest level ever recorded.
Yeah, Jonia,
Since my
you're
election,
just some
US
poor college liberal who has no idea how capitalism works.
adding more than $12 trillion to our nation's wealth, transcending anything anyone believed was possible. This is a record. It is something that every country in the world is looking up to. They admire.
That's true. That's true. Why is Nancy Pelosi and the rest of these people upset about all the wins that regular Americans are having due to Trump's policies? It's because it's Trump. This is what I'm saying. When you're against Trump, it blinds you to the fact that positive things are happening for the people in this country. I'm not against Trump. I am for American people.
And 100% and even more. Jobs and investments are pouring into 9,000 previously neglected neighborhoods thanks to Opportunity Zones, a plan spearheaded by Senator Tim Scott.
Here we go. People have to take responsibility for their own health. Can't eat Wendy's every day and expect the government to take care of you when you have health problems. Okay, Jet Jag. So how about the people that have cancer because we've completely destroyed the ecosystem around where they live and these people have cancer? What about the people in Flint, Michigan? All those people that drank poison water because what they're... Do they have to take accountability for their health too? It's very easy to say stuff like that.
Jobs, energy, and excitement.
So maybe, if your 5-year-old starts a house fire in your house, maybe you should take responsibility and accountability for not having your house set on fire and not using the socialist fire department.
Army veteran Tony Rankins from Cincinnati, Ohio. After struggling with drug addiction, Tony lost his job, his house, and his family. He was homeless. But then Tony found a construction company that invests in Opportunity Zones. He is now a top tradesman.
Yeah, Jet, they got screwed. And your ideology is not going to help unscrew those people. And please answer my question. If your 5-year-old sticks his Teletubby in the oven and sets your house on fire, should you take personal responsibility for your lack of parenting, or are you going to call the fire department?
Thank you, Tony. Our roaring economy has, for the first time ever, given many former prisoners the ability to get a great job and a fresh start. The second chance at life is made possible because we passed landmark...
Correct, Bobby. It's your fault, and it praise God that you have the fire department so that your entire house doesn't burn down and the investment that you made in your house doesn't go up in smoke. That's all I'm saying. You can blame the person who contracted some disease, even though I don't know how you would possibly know it at an individual level whose fault it was. But we also have social safety nets so that people don't end up completely ruined because of situations like that.
Thanks to our bold regulatory...
Thank you, XLTD. No, Jet, it's not an accident. If you were more of an attentive parent, that child wouldn't have stuck that Teletubby in that oven. Call it an accident. It's funny when it's your situation, all of a sudden now it's an accident. When this person contracts some horrible disease, people need to take personal responsibility. Isn't that interesting how that works?
Energy jobs, like so many other elements of our country, are at a record high. We are doing numbers that no one would have thought possible just 3 years ago. Likewise, we are restoring our nation's manufacturing might. Even predictions were, as you all know, that this could never, ever be done.
All right, Jet. So what I'm saying about your house and and the fire department, I'm simply saying about health and health care. That's all I'm saying. Cannot have 27-year-old kids dying because they're rationing insulin. And it is a horrible, horrible, inhumane thing to say. You should have had more responsibility for yourself. And too bad you're dead. That's your problem. That's not the America Look, I'm an immigrant. I wasn't born in this country.
Are not leaving.
But that attitude is not America. I refuse to believe that that's the American attitude. I think Americans generally love each other, they care about each other, want to look out for each other.
States of America is
That's what I
indeed
think.
The place where the action is.
What's up, E-Fog?
Promises I made to the American people was to replace the disastrous NAFTA trade.
Yes, Ben, but the difference is I've had different experiences that got me to a certain level of maturity that this brother didn't have the opportunity to get to.
Fair trade is perhaps the single biggest reason that
He's right about trade here.
for president. Following NAFTA's adoption, our nation lost 1 in 4 manufacturing jobs. Many politicians came and went pledging to change or replace NAFTA, only to do so, and then absolutely nothing happened.
Right.
But unlike so many who came before
As
me,
well as
I keep
TPP,
my promise.
which Obama was
We did
pushing
our job.
right to the end. Why are you shaking your head, Pelosi? He's right. It was the Clintons that foisted NAFTA on us. 25% of the country in the manufacturing space lost their jobs. They got shipped overseas. Those are facts.
6
Facts.
months ago, I replaced NAFTA and signed the brand new U.S.-Mexico-Canada agreement into law. The USMCA will create nearly 100,000 new high-paying American auto jobs and massively boost exports for our farmers, ranchers, and factory workers.
Getting rid of NAFTA was a great thing to do.
It will also
The Democratic Party completely abandoned those people.
higher level, but also to be a much greater degree of fairness and reciprocity. We will have that fairness and reciprocity, and I say that finally because it's been many, many years that we were treated fairly on trade. This is the first major trade deal in many years to earn.
He's also right about trade. We've been getting jerked on trade. You have to admit.
I also promised our citizens that I would impose tariffs to confront China's massive theft of America's jobs. Our strategy has worked. Days ago, we signed the groundbreaking new agreement with China that will defend our workers, protect our intellectual property, bring billions and billions of dollars into our treasury, and open vast new markets for products made and grown right here in the USA.
He's right. There's Ilhan checking out her Facebook.
For decades, China has taken advantage of the
These
United
people
States.
sicken me, I swear.
Now we have changed that, but at the same time, we have perhaps the best relationship we've ever had with China, including with President Xi. They respect what we've done.
Look at Pelosi shaking her head.
Could never really believe
What are you shaking your head about?
get away with what they were doing year after year, decade after decade, without someone in our country stepping up and saying, that's enough.
It's true. We've been getting jerked by the Chinese. We have been.
Now we want to rebuild our country, and that's exactly what we're doing. We are rebuilding our country. As we restore American leadership throughout the world, we are once again standing.
I'm sorry about that, boss.
In our hemisphere.
But I think Bernie would have a solution for your grandmother.
Administration reversed the failing policies of the previous administration on Cuba.
Whoa, what did he say? We're reversing the policies of the previous administration on Cuba? Are we going to lift the embargoes?
We are supporting the hopes of Cubans, Nicaraguans, and Venezuelans to restore democracy. The United States is leading a 59-nation diplomatic coalition against the socialist dictator of Venezuela, Nicolas Maduro.
Not really a fan of that. We don't need to get involved in what's going on in Venezuela. We have no business in Venezuela. Why are you clapping for that?
An illegitimate ruler, a tyrant who brutalizes his people, but Maduro's grip on tyranny will be smashed and broken.
What are you?
Here this evening,
This is
is a
ridiculous.
brave man who carries with him the
So is
hopes,
Bashar
dreams,
al-Assad. He's a
and
terrible dictator
aspirations
too. We
of
can't go into every country and
millions.
destroy everybody's
Joining
terrible
us in the
dictator.
gallery is the true and legitimate
Unbelievable.
president of Venezuela, Juan Guaido. Mr. President, please take this message back to your family.
Gosh, look at that guy. It's like he has no soul. Even the Democrats are clapping for him. Now you know there's a problem. You know there's a problem if the Democrats and the Republicans are clapping for this guy. I don't want any parts of any of this Venezuela stuff. Why we continue to meddle in other people's affairs is beyond me, other than the fact that Venezuela has a very large oil reserve.
Great honor. Thank you very much.
Wow.
Please take this
Unbelievable.
message back that all Americans are united with the Venezuelan people in their righteous struggle for freedom. Thank you very much, Mr. President.
Who believes that there's a righteous struggle for freedom that the Democrats and the Republicans are united on? Even Pelosi's clapping. Nah. I'm going to have to do some more, yes, sarcasm, impulsivity at its best. Correct.
Thank you very much. Socialism destroys nations, but always remember freedom unifies.
Socialism destroys nations. Every non-capitalist nation. Did you know this, Sonia? It's all been destroyed.
We have invested a record-breaking $2.2 trillion in the United States military.
$2.2 trillion in the military. Screw that healthcare. We need more bombs. I don't think people understand how much farther ahead of the rest of the planet Earth we are, militarily speaking. And I'm not even talking about spending. I'm talking about capabilities. We can't take any of those trillions and put it into healthcare. How are you going to pay for it?
And it's all made right here.
Wow.
in the USA. We are also getting our allies.
Correct, blame
to
gravity.
help pay
Correct. It's all about the petrodollar. Exactly. Okay, so then we don't need another $2 trillion. We don't need $2 trillion in the military. We've lapped the entire planet 98 times. Why? We can't do anything for healthcare.
Their minimum obligations has more than doubled. And just weeks ago, for the first time since President Truman established the Air Force, more than
Funding healthcare equals socialism. Funding the military, A-okay. And everybody believes the military needs to be funded. But to the degree that it's being funded, come on, man. You do realize that the military is a form of socialism. My money, your money, it's all going into that pot and then gets redistributed to the soldiers, etc.
In the gallery tonight, we have a young gentleman, and what he wants so badly, 13 years old, Ian Wonfei. He's an 8th grader from Arizona. Ian, please stand up. Ian has always dreamed of going to space. He was the first in his class and among the youngest.
And he's a person of
at the
color.
Aviation Academy. He aspires to go to the Air Force Academy, and then he has his eye on the Space Force. As Ian says, most people look up at space. I want to look down on the world.
Well, that's got to warm your heart. That's the future of the Space Force, ladies and gentlemen. How can you not clap for little Ian? He's a person of color. If you don't, you're a racist bastard. Keep telling me Trump's not smart. Look at you, Pelosi, you evil bastard. Clap for little Ian.
Is his greatest hero of them all. Charles McGee was born in Cleveland, Ohio, 1 century ago.
Another person of
Charles
color.
was one of the last surviving Tuskegee Airmen, the first black fighter pilots, and he also happens to be Ian's great-grandfather.
Hey, Pelosi, you best clap, lady. You better clap, Pelosi. You better clap. You better clap, Pelosi, for that black man. Go ahead, brother minister. Yeah. 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 You can't do nothing about that. Especially considering you did all those governmental experiments on the Tuskegee Airmen. Yo, Trump is a master chess player, yo. You cannot not clap for that guy, Pelosi.
Incredible story.
Unbelievable.
More than 130 combat missions in World War II. He came back home to a country still struggling for civil rights and went on to serve America in Korea and Vietnam. On December 7th, Charles celebrated his 100th birthday.
Space Force is still a thing. Tim, big business and monopolies, that's all capitalism, bruh.
Promoting Charles McGee to Brigadier General, and earlier today I pinned the stars on his shoulders in the Oval Office. General McGee, our nation salutes you. Thank you, sir.
Respect to the big homie. Respect to the big homie. You gotta respect it.
From the Pilgrims to the founders, from the soldiers at Valley Forge to the marchers.
Listen, breaking up monopolies is not a capitalist principle. Laissez-faire is a capitalist principle. Breaking up monopolies is not laissez-faire.
Congress, we must never forget that the only victories that matter in Washington are victories that deliver for the American people. The people are the heart of our country. Their dreams are the soul of our country, and their love is what.
Kellendross currently has the quote of the night. We need the Space Force so Trump can finally build his wall in space. You know what? hey, Kellendross. Near that part of the wall that fell down, there's Ilhan Omar again doing the 16-year-old teenager thing. I'm not gonna look at you when you're talking. Remember that part of the wall that fell down? Maybe it was in space. You're in zero gravity or whatnot. It won't fall if you build the wall up there. Ah!
Yet for too long, countless American children have been trapped in failing government schools. To rescue these students, 18 states have created school choice in the form of opportunity scholarships. The programs are so popular that tens of thousands of students...
All right, Leah. He's got 100 miles of the wall done. All right.
Is Janiyah Davis, a fourth grader from Philadelphia. Janiyah.
Janiyah's like, I gotta stand up. And Mom's like, stand up, girl. These are all people of color. You guys notice that? He's going after the black voters. Now, my sister just texted me. She's like, yo, I can't stand this pandering. Let me explain something to you. Democrats don't even feel like they need to pander to us. That's how much they ignore us. Obama wasn't doing none of this.
Further out of reach when Pennsylvania's governor vetoed legislation to expand school choice to 50,000 children. Janiyah and Stephanie.
The Spatians will pay for it.
Thank you so much for being here with your beautiful.
You know,
Thank you very much.
all the people that hate my guts, like Kellendross and Sarcast, have the funniest lines. Like, it's not even close. Look at that beautiful black sister. Go ahead, Sister Minister. Love me some black people, I gotta tell you.
Janiyah, I have some good news for you, because I am that an opportunity scholarship has become available. It's going to you, and you will soon be heading to the school of your choice.
Look at that genuine smile. Go ahead, black girl. Go ahead, sister minister. Woo, getting all frilly. I mean, my kids are homeschooled. They got the best. They got the best teacher on the planet Earth. But that's a heartwarming moment. Trump is coming at this with a lot of positivity. I thought he was going to blitz these people because of the debacle over there in Iowa, but he's staying on message. He's staying positive. Later, Nate.
Every young person should have a safe and secure environment in which to learn and to grow. For this reason, our magnificent First Lady has launched the Be Best initiative to advance a safe, healthy, supportive, and drug-free.
Whew, I think your man Trump is slaying it right now.
He always is.
He's he stood up some people of color. He just got this girl a scholarship. He saluted the Tuskegee Airmen. I mean, it was a heartwarming moment because the girl didn't know. You could tell, and then she was like, "Ah!" I was like, "Zoe," it was a surprise. Look at a little tear in my eye. I kept it gully. Are you coming? Or
Food. I'm almost done.
are you
Your
still
long
in this?
list of
Are you still in the
cooking.
slave? What are you talking about? It's
I just finished this.
Oh, that's so
and
good.
this.
Do we have the jelly?
Where's the thing? Put it over here, Dorian.
Look how big Dorian is, subhanAllah. Come here. Come here, you.
That's very hot.
Oh my God, that looks so good. Oh my gosh, I love my family.
That's not your family. That was me.
Wow, my family.
I better take all the credit for it because next thing I know, you kids are gonna be saying I threw eggs on walls. Or
Thanks for
You
visiting
did
me.
throw eggs on walls.
Hey, don't yell at your mother.
Mom.
Hey, listen, I need bring the jelly, please.
What jelly?
I'll get the jelly.
It's in the
I gotta
thing.
get my water anyway.
Okay.
What's up?
What's wrong with you?
I'm watching the State of the Union with my buddies. So I'm in a bad mood because of last night.
Wait, is this live?
Yep.
I hugged you in live television.
Sorry, buddy. Love you.
Move my stuff to the Jackson. No, you gotta go to bed.
I agree. I do think Trump is scared of Bernie.
Oh goodness.
Oh, babe, thank you so much. Oh my God, you're such a gift.
Hopefully you can find it in your heart to rub my sore back later.
I will rub your sore back later.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. Hello. Can I talk while this is happening?
Oh
or
yeah,
are we trying not to take
do your thing.
When the kids.
This is keto bread
Yep.
made by my beautiful wife. Did somebody hit the camera? What happened to the camera?
I don't know. Did it get lower?
I just lowered my chair, so.
I've also made an ironclad pledge to American families. We will always protect patients with pre-existing conditions.
Wait, he's talking about healthcare now.
In other words, don't talk.
Babe, you really found a solution for the bread problem. You really did. This is better than bread.
Better than bread?
I like this better than bread.
Oh, wow. Well, it's healthy.
He's saying he's going to protect Social Security. Why are you shaking your head, Pelosi?
The American patient should never be blindsided by medical bills. That is why I signed an executive order requiring price transparency.
Look at the way he puts his head up like that.
Uh-huh. She went to give him a pound. He dodged her.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Many experts believe
$2.75. Looks good, buddy.
go into full effect at the beginning of next year will be even bigger.
I don't know what keto bread it is. Like, I don't know what the name of it is. Maybe I'll make a video and show you guys how to make it. It's
Yeah.
very easy.
Make a Patreon video.
But as we work to improve Americans' health care, there are those who want to take away your health care, take away your doctor, and abolish private insurance entirely.
Uh-oh.
132 lawmakers in this room have endorsed legislation to impose a socialist takeover of our healthcare system, wiping out the private health insurance plans of 180 million very happy Americans.
275. I'll
To those watching at home tonight, I want you to know
we'll shoot a video for you.
never let socialism destroy American healthcare.
Oh, also the tea. That's all I have is water. So that's him saying, screw you guys, Medicare for all. Let those people die. What is your solution, though?
130 legislators in this chamber have endorsed legislation that would bankrupt our nation by providing free taxpayer-funded health care to millions of illegal aliens, forcing
Yikes.
taxpayers to subsidize free care for anyone in the world who unlawfully crosses our borders.
Well, they all raised their hands during the Dem debates.
The Medicare benefits of our seniors and that our seniors depend on, while acting as a powerful lure for illegal immigration. That is what is happening in California and other states. Their systems are totally out of control, costing taxpayers
Look at Pelosi.
unaffordable amounts of money.
Look at
American taxpayers to provide unlimited free health care to illegal aliens sounds fair to you, then stand with the radical left. But if you believe that we should defend American patients and American seniors, then stand with me and pass legislation to prohibit free government health care for illegal aliens.
Tell me what you're going to do about the millions of uninsured Americans, though, Mr. Trump.
Mm-hmm.
I heard about the pre-existing conditions. I heard about that.
This will be a tremendous boon to our already very strongly guarded southern border, where as we speak, a long, tall, and very powerful wall.
A long, tall, and very powerful wall. Ya Rasulullah. Jazakallahu khairan, ya.
I think there's another thing of strawberries in the room that looks better than this. It's a big
You can have
container.
those. You can have those. There's a big container in there.
Fully completed.
500 miles.
Period of time. Early next year, we will have substantially more than 500 miles completed. My administration is also taking on the big pharmaceutical companies. We have approved a record number of affordable generic drugs, and medicines are being approved by the FDA at a faster clip than ever before.
There's a
Check on the one like right by the TV. Lowering prescription drugs. Like he's lowering the cost.
Yeah,
For the first
That's-
time in 51 years,
we've got it
the
now.
cost of
Thank you.
prescription drugs actually went down.
Did people
that
tell you
true?
to turn it down? Is that why it's so low?
Is that true? The cost of prescription drugs went down?
Together, Congress can
I know that all the stuff that I've gotten recently, like, well, within the past, year, has all been surprisingly low.
and others in Congress
You text
in
her
order
and
to
bring me
get
a fork.
something on drug pricing done quickly and properly. I'm calling for bipartisan legislation that achieves
Okay, well, if the insulin was lower cost, then he would have been okay.
prices. Get a bill on my desk and I will sign it into law immediately.
Mark Taylor is saying his prescriptions went down.
With unyielding commitment, we are currently
What? Wait. What are they saying?
Wow, Steven. Well, we don't have insurance, Steven.
What are they chanting?
those deaths declined for the first time in nearly 30 years.
What were they chanting? Does anybody know what they were chanting? Tejas, what were those women yelling about?
Mhm.
States hardest hit. Ohio is down 22%. Pennsylvania is down 18%. Wisconsin is down 10%, and we will not quit until we have beaten the opioid epidemic once and for all.
That's true. The opioid could killing us. I pay 75 cents for my 90-day supply of blood pressure medicine.
Where are you from?
Protecting Americans' health also means fighting infectious diseases. We are coordinating with the Chinese government and working closely together on the coronavirus outbreak in China. My administration will take all necessary steps to safeguard our citizens from this threat. We have launched ambitious new initiatives to substantially improve care for Americans with kidney disease, Alzheimer's, and those struggling with mental health. And because Congress was so good as to fund my request, new cures for childhood cancer, and we will eradicate the AIDS epidemic in America by the end of this decade.
That's been years in the making. That's not. There's very little to do with him.
Almost every American family knows the pain when a loved one is diagnosed with a serious illness. Here tonight is a special man, beloved by millions of Americans, who just received a stage 4 advanced cancer diagnosis.
That's a guy with lung cancer.
This is not good news, but what is good news is that he is the greatest fighter and winner that you will ever meet. Rush Limbaugh, thank you for your decades of tireless devotion to our country.
Who are these pale ladies?
Thank you, Pranked. That I don't know who those pale ladies are. Maybe his wife and daughter. I have no idea. Honey, I'm not. You're killing me.
You know so much political stuff that I don't know.
Oh, look! He's doing that. He's doing that. He's down with the struggle. Hey!
What did he do?
He's like, yo, what's good, fam?
Of all that you have done for our nation, the millions of people
He texted on getting that for.
I did.
you speak to and that you inspire, and all of the incredible work that you have done for charity. I am proud to announce that you will be receiving
I don't want you to go.
civilian honor, the Presidential Medal of Freedom.
Wow, he looks genuinely surprised. Oh, man.
He said he already gave you the seat.
He did.
Lady of the United States to present you with the honor, please.
Yo, it's gonna happen right now. Subhanallah. Subhanallah. That's crazy. He's killing this. He is killing this right now. He is killing it. You got to get up in your feels here.
What are they giving him?
Basically it's a civilian version of the Medal of Honor. Like
That's what it looks like.
he's got, and he was genuinely surprised. Look at him. Damn you, Pelosi! You need to clap. It's a good moment.
Ben Webb.
What did Ben Webb say? Look at that beautiful. Look at that beautiful white baby.
Oh, it's okay. O'Reilly's been saying mean stuff about you all for a long time.
He's the Antichrist. Don't worry about it. All right.
Rush and Catherine, congratulations. Thank you, Catherine.
As if Pelosi couldn't stand for a guy with cancer. What the hell is wrong?
Look at that look she has on her face.
In 2017 doctors at St. Luke's Hospital in Kansas City.
These are really nasty people, these people.
Premature babies ever to survive. Born at just
Look like a Super
21
Bowl
weeks and
MVP
6
quarterback.
days and weighing less than a pound, Ellie Schneider was a born fighter. Through the skill of her doctors and the prayers of her parents, little Ellie kept on winning the battle of life. Today, Ellie is a strong, healthy 2-year-old girl sitting with her amazing mother, Robin. In the gallery, Ellie and Robin, we are glad to have you with us tonight.
Nice little pro-life message there. You better clap, Pelosi, to your evil self. I hope he isn't Minnie Mahomes. We'll make he'll be very successful. Hmm?
Wipe Oreo's face. It's just gonna get dirty.
Oh, wait.
And thanks to modern medical wonders, 50% of very premature babies delivered at the hospital where Ellie was born now survive. It's an incredible thing. Thank you very much.
Pro-life, baby. Stop killing these babies.
Baby has the best chance to thrive and grow just like Ellie. That is why I'm asking Congress to provide an additional $50 million to fund neonatal research for America's youngest patients.
Let's spend money on saving these little kids' lives and not killing them, sending them off to Planned Parenthood, you evil bastards.
That is why I'm also calling upon members of Congress here tonight.
100%, 21. 100%.
The late term abortion of babies.
What?
Yep.
He said to stop
To
it?
stop the late-term abortion of babies. You evil bastards. Oh! Go ahead, brother minister. Go ahead, Trump.
Whether we are Republican, Democrat, or Independent, surely we must all agree that every human life is a sacred gift from God. As we support America's moms and dads, I was recently proud to sign the law providing new parents in the federal workforce paid family leave, serving as a model for the rest of the country.
What are you whining about, Pelosi? Stand up. That's pro-woman. Good. Paid family leave. That's
She's
pro-woman.
She's standing.
Go adopt Vin, you monster.
Pass the bipartisan Advancing Support for Working Families Act, extending family leave to mothers and fathers all across our nation.
I believe you should be able to board up to 18 years after birth. Once the baby turns 18, it should be safe. Right, Ben. This is the logic of these people.
I've also overseen historic funding increases for high-quality child care.
I can't tell you how good this is, babe. This is so good. Oh, my God.
Oh my God, you like it.
You are the freaking epitome of everything. Unbelievable. If God wasn't God, I would worship you. But you're not God, so I can't. But I would.
Quality child care and urge you to act immediately. To protect the environment,
Trump is killing this, just like the Senate killed the Constitution. Killing time, yay. Shut up, sarcasm. You're not even American. What do you know about our Constitution?
government and private sector to plant new trees in America and all around the world.
New trees. He's just going everywhere.
We must also rebuild America's infrastructure.
Oh, what's up? You want daddy? Come here. Come to me. What? You don't want me?
Well, he does. I think He wants to, but he doesn't want to leave me either.
I ask you to pass Senator John Barrasso's highway bill to
Wait. Don't grab any of that stuff, though.
tunnels all across our land.
Yeah, how about that?
I'm also committed to ensuring that every citizen can have access to high-speed internet, including and especially in rural America.
Yeah.
Every citizen having high-speed internet?
Is that what he said?
Yeah.
It actually is smart.
Even the Dems had to clap for that.
A better tomorrow for all Americans also requires us to keep
I have the same physique as that baby.
supporting the men and women of law enforcement at every level, including our nation's heroic ICE officers.
Yes, Tejas. Tejas, if you send a MAGA hat for Orion, I will definitely have him
I was
wear
gonna
it.
say, Vin will put it on him. I'll take it off him.
Last year, our brave ICE officers arrested more than 120,000.
Right, boss. Right.
charged with
I agree with you.
10,000 burglaries, 5,000 sexual assaults, 45,000 violent
Jesus.
assaults, and 2,000 murders. Tragically, there are many cities in America where radical politicians have chosen to provide sanctuary for these criminal, illegal aliens. In sanctuary cities, local officials
45,000.
Wow.
release dangerous criminal aliens.
I called up my brother. I'm like, yo, what's the deal with ICE? He's like, yo, I've worked with those guys. They're squared away.
Really?
Yeah.
Just 29 days ago, a criminal
Yeah.
alien freed by the sanctuary city of New York was charged with the brutal rape and murder of a 92-year-old woman. The killer had been previously arrested for assault, but under New York sanctuary policies, he was set free. If the city had honored ICE's detainee request, his victim would still be alive today.
Yikes.
The state of California passed an outrageous law declaring their whole state to be a sanctuary for criminal illegal immigrants. A very terrible sanctuary with catastrophic results. Here is just one tragic example. In December of 2018, California police detained an illegal alien with 5 prior arrests, including convictions for robbery and assault. But as required by California's sanctuary law, local authorities released him. Days later, the criminal alien went on a gruesome spree of deadly violence. He viciously shot one man going about his daily work. He approached a woman sitting in her car and shot her in the arm and in the chest. He walked into a convenience store and wildly fired his weapon. He hijacked a truck and smashed into vehicles, critically injuring innocent victims. One of the victims is a terrible, terrible situation. Died, 51-year-old American named Rocky Jones. Rocky was at a gas station when this vile criminal fired 8 bullets at him from close range, murdering him in cold blood. Rocky left behind a devoted family, including his brothers, who loved him more than
Shit, there's the guy's brother right there.
One of his grieving brothers is here with us tonight. Jody, would you please stand? Jody, thank you.
His brother got killed. Damn.
Oh.
Yeah, but how many, what is the percentage of that happening? If it's 30%, I have a problem. If it's 1%, I grieve for Rocky, but we can't throw out the baby with the bathwater.
Congress has introduced legislation to allow Americans like Jody to sue sanctuary cities and states when a loved one is hurt or killed as a result of these deadly practices.
Oh no, but something, M-Def fan, because like I said before, if we want to clear out all the deaths in America, all we have to do is stop giving white men guns. Because I can stand up there, I can stand up here and talk about all the people that have been blitzed out of this planet by white men with guns. So if I have one example of a white guy with guns shooting everybody, does that mean that should be the end of all white men with guns in America? Come on, man. Use your head. Very emotional moment. I respect it. I respect ICE. I'm not one of these people that says we need to get rid of ICE. But that's not enough to convince me that we need to close our borders, man.
To stamp out the menace of human trafficking domestically and all around the globe. My administration has undertaken an unprecedented effort to secure the southern border of the United States. Before I came into office, if you showed up illegally on our southern border and were arrested, you were simply released and allowed into our country, never to be seen again. My administration has ended catch and release.
Oh, I don't know
that. I need more data, KSOP 66, on sanctuary cities before I have an opinion. I don't have enough data. Yeah, what does the wearing of the white signify? I don't understand what that is for the women. Is that like a women's suffragist thing?
El Salvador and Guatemala. As a result of our unprecedented efforts, illegal crossings are down 75% since May, dropping 8 straight months in a row.
Yeah, this stream will be posted later if it doesn't get blocked.
It won't get blocked.
Going down very rapidly. Last year, I traveled to the border in Texas and met Chief Patrol Agent Raul Ortiz. Over the last 24 months,
another person of color
seized more than 200,000 pounds of poisonous narcotics, arrested more than 3,000 human smugglers, and rescued more than 2,000 migrants. Days ago, Agent Ortiz was promoted to Deputy Chief of Border Patrol, and he joins us tonight. Chief Ortiz, please stand.
Is this... They don't usually do this, do they?
Not to this degree. He's kicking ass. He's kicking ass. I'm sorry. 22 for Web Week. I agree, James. I'm glad to see you, by the way, James. Send me another email.
Thank you very much.
Glad to see you're doing okay.
To build on these historic gains, we are working on legislation to replace
He recognized one white guy, Rush Limbaugh. That's true.
System with one based on merit, welcoming those who follow the rules.
What policies has Trump enacted against women? Is it the Medical Leave Act after you have a child? What the hell is he talking about? Obama didn't do that for women.
With every action, my administration is restoring the rule of law and reasserting the culture of American freedom.
This is really good. I have a little bit more energy now. I think the 1 meal a day thing is a little bit extreme. That guy looks like one of the turtles from Super Mario.
We have confirmed a record number of
Didn't he?
187 new federal judges to uphold our Constitution.
187 federal judges. You know, we could have used one of those during that one. I used to listen to Neil Gorsuch on the radio.
So this means stuff is going to happen more quickly instead of it going months and months in court?
Well, no, that's always going to happen. It's just they're going to be slanted to the right. But Neil Gorsuch, I used to listen to him on Christian radio.
Wait, I
now
guess
he's
I
a
misunderstood.
federally appointed judge.
What did he say about the 187?
He appointed 187 judges.
Oh, during his time.
One of them like was completely inexperienced. Remember that one we heard on Tim Pool? Person was completely inexperienced.
Yep.
He got it done anyway.
Yep.
Unbelievable.
The administration is also defending religious liberty, and that includes the constitutional right to pray in public schools.
That's ridiculous. Nobody would ever stop you from praying in public school.
No, it has happened.
No, it has not.
Honey, we are having kids that were coming to our program that were saying the teachers were giving them Fs and harassing them because of their papers.
Yeah, but that was always against the law. We're talking about praying in public school. That was never against the law.
In America, we celebrate.
They stopped doing it.
We cherish religion.
Yeah, but that's not the
We lift
law.
our voices in prayer, and we raise our sights to the glory of God. Just as we believe in the First Amendment, we also believe in another constitutional right that is under siege all across our country. So long as I am president, I will always protect your Second Amendment right to keep and bear.
That's right. I'll always protect your right to blow people away by the fucking hundreds. Good job, Trump, Mr. Pro-Life. Screw all those dead people. Screw all those dead kids.
I know, that's what I was thinking. Right after back-to-back with prayer in school.
Yeah, pray in school. You better pray when you're in school, because this motherfucker's going to load them up with guns.
We must remember that America has always been a frontier nation. Now we must embrace the next frontier.
Here comes Space
America's
Force.
manifest destiny in the stars. I am asking
Manifest destiny. He actually used that phrase. Did you hear that? He said
Yeah,
manifest
in
destiny.
the stars.
You know when we first... Sorry. You know when his ancestors first used the phrase manifest destiny?
When?
That was what the justification was for taking over the Native Americans' land and slaughtering them. Was that white colonialists were Israelites and that the American Indians were the Canaanites, and it was their manifest destiny. Their destiny was manifesting and slaughtering these people and taking their land.
That's kind of alarming that he said that.
Kind of alarming.
You don't think that was accidental?
Wow.
Zonia.
How do you stop a bad guy with a gun? A good guy with a nuke. That's right. That's right, Zonia.
To stabilize the region and give millions of young people the chance to realize a better future. 3 years ago, the barbarians of ISIS held over 20,000 square miles of territory in Iraq and Syria. Today, the ISIS territorial
This was really good.
has been 100% destroyed, and the founder and leader of ISIS, the bloodthirsty killer known as al-Baghdadi, is dead.
Do you want it to be spicier?
Uh,
Because I have another idea that might make it spicier.
no, just probably
Leaving
more.
some of the seeds in it.
Yeah, seeds would be good, and then a little bit more cheese. Yeah, fuck Baghdadi. I don't care about that guy.
And Marcia Mueller. After graduating from college, their beautiful
Oh, that's
became a
Mueller's daughter.
humanitarian aid
You know the
worker.
girl that died over there. She was.
She once wrote, "Some people find God in church.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Some people find God in nature. Some
Yeah.
people find God in love. I find God in suffering. I've known for some time what my life's work is, using my hands as tools to relieve suffering. In 2013, while caring for suffering civilians in Syria, Kayla was
Everybody in that group
kidnapped,
has something that's
tortured,
good.
and enslaved by ISIS and kept as a prisoner of al-Baghdadi himself. After more than 500 horrifying days of captivity, al-Baghdadi murdered young, beautiful Kayla. She was just 26 years old. On the night that U.S. Special Forces operations ended al-Baghdadi's miserable life, the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Mark Milley, received a call in the Situation Room. He was told that the brave men of the elite Special Forces team that so perfectly carried out the operation had given their mission a name, Task Force 814. It was a reference to a special day, August 14th, Kayla's birthday. Carl and Marcia, America's warriors, never forgot Kayla, and neither will we. Thank you.
Jesus. Oh.
You know what, Ben? You're totally right. That was wrong of me. Scripture said God doesn't delight in the death of the wicked, but rather that the wicked should turn from their way and live. I've never said I'm a perfect person, but you're right. I should feel sadder for Baghdadi than I do for Kayla. because she's with the Lord, but Baghdadi is obviously not, probably.
The infinite depth of love that dwells in the human heart.
So you made a fair point. You're right. I was wrong.
Army Staff Sergeant
The rest of you, don't follow my bad example.
On his second deployment to Iraq in 2008, Sergeant Hake wrote a letter to his one-year-old son, Gage. I will be with you again, he wrote to Gage. I will teach you to ride your first bike, build your first sandbox, watch you play sports, and see you have kids also. I love you, son. Take care of your mother. I am always with you, Daddy. On Easter Sunday of 2008, Chris was out on patrol in Baghdad when his Bradley fighting vehicle was hit by a roadside bomb.
Yeah, you okay?
He made the ultimate sacrifice for our country. Sergeant Hake now rests in eternal glory in Arlington, and his wife Kelly is in the gallery tonight, joined by their son, who is now a 13-year-old and doing very, very well. To Kelly and Gage, Chris
He's a
will
strong
live in our
dude.
hearts forever.
That kid's a
He's
strong
looking
guy.
down on you now. Thank you.
You know, he keeps looking at his mom.
That's a good kid. Look at
Yeah.
that. Look at that. Yeah, he's going straight to the military when he turns 18. I could tell.
He looks like he wants that moment over.
Thank you very much. Thank you both very much. The terrorist responsible for killing Sergeant Hake was Qasim Soleimani, who provided the deadly roadside bomb that took Chris's life. Soleimani was the Iranian regime's
Wow,
most
Trump.
ruthless butcher, a monster murderer of
Wow.
thousands of American service members in Iraq.
Wow.
As the world's top terrorist, Soleimani orchestrated
This dude
the
is
deaths
brilliant.
of countless
See how
men.
emotional you are?
Uh-huh.
And then he just connected that little moment to Soleimani. So now you're like, fuck that guy, kill him. Which is why you need Ben Webbs in the world to say, hey, wait a second.
Actively planning new attacks.
Can't let your emotions overtake your theology.
Last month, at my direction, the U.S. military executed a flawless precision strike that killed Soleimani and terminated his evil reign of terror forever.
As Pelosi's clapping for the...
Message to the terrorists is clear. You will never escape American justice. If you attack our citizens, you forfeit your life.
And if we attack your citizens, you forfeit your life. We just bomb the hell out of you, kill you, no recourse, no nothing. We'll just keep going. But don't touch an American. Because American lives are worth more than everybody else's.
The Iranian regime must abandon its pursuit of nuclear weapons, stop spreading terror, death, and destruction, and start working for the good of its own people. Because of our powerful sanctions, the
I agree,
Iranian
Sean.
economy is doing very,
Obama
very
style,
well.
100%. You're right.
We can help them make a very good and short time recovery. It can all go very quickly, but perhaps they are too proud or too foolish to ask for that help. We are here. Let's see which road they choose. It is totally up to them.
Tell you what, when Americans stand up there and say, hey, don't mess with us, we're going to kill you all.
Wars in the Middle East. In Afghanistan, the determination and valor of our warfighters has allowed us to make tremendous progress, and peace talks are now underway. I am not looking to kill hundreds of thousands of people in Afghanistan, many of them totally innocent. It is also not our function to serve other nations as law enforcement agencies.
Good.
These are warfighters that we have, the best in the world, and they either want to fight to win or not fight at all. We are working to finally end America's longest war and bring our troops back home.
Wow.
Places a heavy burden on our nation's extraordinary military families, especially spouses like Amy Williams from Fort Bragg, North Carolina, and her two children, 6-year-old Eliana and 3-year-old Rowan. Amy works full-time and volunteers countless hours helping other military families. For the past 7 months, she has done it all while her husband, Sergeant First Class Townsend Williams, is in Afghanistan on his 4th deployment in the Middle East. Amy's kids haven't seen their father's face in many months. Amy, your family's sacrifice makes it possible for all of our families to live in safety and in peace, and we want to thank you. Thank you, Amy.
Yeah, 275. Some people need killing. I agree with you. That's you. You need killing. And I need killing. I'm a Christian. I believe all of us deserve to die. That's what the scripture says. Oh my God!
Who's that? Oh, they've been waiting for their dad.
It's a surprise.
Look at her. She wants to give the kids a chance, but she just really wants to hug him.
They brought it. Oh my God, Trump. You are. Oh my gosh, Trump. That is. Oh my gosh, Trump. All of us need to die, 275. Are you a Christian? I am. That's what the Bible says. So I'm going to go ahead and bow out of. I'm out of the whole. That guy needs to die. He needs to die right now business. Damn. She was genuinely. Wow. Pelosi, you gotta stand up for that shit. Hey, this is so emotional. This is so emotional. La ilaha illallah. Whoo. Well, I don't want anybody to die. The wages of sin is death, but the gift of God is eternal life through Jesus Christ our Lord. So I don't want anybody to die. Alhamdulillah.
And he's been bringing a lot of the troops home.
Boy, he's got Sori crying. I'm keeping my gangster up. I ain't crying about nothing.
As the world bears witness tonight, America is a land of heroes.
Oh, I know what people did. We've all done our killing, 275. I'm not saying that it doesn't happen. What I'm saying is there's a different way to live in the world. And killing bad people, we've killed more innocent people on this planet than anybody else has done, 275. So who's going to come for us then? Serious question.
Neil Armstrong, and so many more. This is the country where children learn names like Wyatt Earp, Davy Crockett, and Annie Oakley. This is the place where the Pilgrims landed at Plymouth, and where Texas patriots made their last stand at the Alamo.
We're not in the top 5 of killing innocent civilians? Are you serious, 275? Who's the number one killer of innocent civilians in the last 20 years, 275?
Determined men and women ever to walk on the face of the earth. Our ancestors braved the unknown, tamed the wilderness, settled the Wild West.
I said the last 20 years.
From poverty, disease, and hunger.
The last 20 years, 275.
Tyranny and fascism ushered the world to new heights of science and medicine, laid down the railroads, dug out the canals, raised up the skyscrapers, and ladies and gentlemen, our ancestors built the most exceptional republic ever to exist in all of human history, and we are making it greater than ever before.
Damn. Why? Look at that miserable black lady. You see that miserable? What are you talking about? This is a great republic. What do you mean you're going to make it greater than ever before?
This is our glorious and magnificent inheritance. We are Americans.
Kellandros,
We are pioneers.
I don't even know if I disagree with you. I'm just legitimately confused at your issue with the original sin. I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm so confused.
That everyone is made equal by the hand.
He has kids too, right, Kellandros?
I don't know if he's got kids.
Kellandros, do you have kids?
He brought up the Lord.
If that doesn't show you original sin, man. He'd be like, how did you learn that?
I don't understand.
I know, that's what I said I'm deaf in.
Trying to
I'm
look
like,
busy rustling her papers, your miserable self.
America is the place where anyone can.
Oh, I agree, 275. We're not the all-time killer of civilians, but this idea that we get to determine which people to kill and who's bad when we've raised more hell in the last 20 years than any other country on the planet.
Leah, right?
Is a bit hypocritical.
We look at tomorrow.
And believe me, I'm not.
Kellandros, you will absolutely change your mind on that when you
I
have a
haven't
kid.
always been this way. Let me just say it that way, 275. You and I are very similar people, believe me.
And she's looking at the drink menu again. Jet, you're funny.
The American age, the American epic.
No, Ben, when you have kids and you realize like nobody has to teach them to hit or to take, like they just start doing that.
Everybody
like,
believes in original sin.
Then you're like, okay.
I just think Kellandros has some. He probably doesn't really understand the technical definition of original sin. Everybody believes in original sin.
Thank you. God bless you, and God bless America. Thank you very much.
That did she just
She
rip
just
it up?
ripped that, I think. I think she did.
Did she just rip it up?
They switched it, but it. Yup, she did.
What a child. These people are so childish. Allahu Akbar.
So what was that? That was the notes of what was going to be talked about?
I have no idea.
President Trump refused the hand of Speaker Pelosi. She refused to say it was her high honor and distinct privilege as speakers usually do to introduce the President of the United States.
What a bunch of childish people. Trump is childish. He wouldn't shake her hand. She's childish. She's making a point of ripping the thing up. What a bunch of childish, silly people we have running our guys. Astaghfirullah. You shall not speak evil of a rule of your people. Help me, Lord. God bless Nancy Pelosi.
Oh, well, I don't know that's not wrong. If someone is being childish to say that.
It's not my place. That heart's not in the right place.
Oh.
See, look, he says only human nature and that can be overcome. Okay, then what you're saying is something in human nature, it needs to be overcome. That's original sin. It's the same idea. It doesn't matter what you call it. This is just playing the word games with words.
Something else we've seen on reality TV, on morning television, I know it well. A family reunion, an American serviceman coming home to greet his family. As I said, so many emotions touched. John Carl,
I have one question, Kellandros. If I said to you, my 3-year-old is perfect, he obeys everything I say all the time, and he always shares, would you believe me?
There were the high moments, certainly with Charles McGee, the Tuskegee Airmen.
Hold on, we gotta get to CNN. We gotta get to CNN. Somebody call me up on Skype. We gotta have a couple call-ins. We gotta have a couple conversations. I want to hear what everybody thinks. I think that Trump was extremely manipulative in this State of the Union, but he did a damn good job at manipulating. I really do. I really do.
Yeah.
It can be overcome in your lifetime. Well, Christian, we say that. Sin can be overcome. Tell me about these perfect people that you've met, Peter. Who is Allah? Allah is the maker of heaven and earth. Very, very, very simple. All right.
Rip that up.
I know. What? Help me, Lord. Help me!
I just don't understand, like, reaching that age. And, you know what I mean?
Their hatred for this guy makes it so that
They're irrational.
they forget about their own dignity.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
President has left the chamber.
come on.
Democratic response in just a couple minutes. We'll be right back.
No, there's original sin. That's why we have things called the terrible twos. We wouldn't have the terrible twos if there was no such thing as original sin. I mean, good Lord. Ah, man, Trump, man. I gotta come on, CNN, help me out. Hey, where's your thing? Are you done uploading the videos for tomorrow?
I don't know. Let's find out.
No, Peter. I just think that honestly, I really don't feel like this is really a debatable issue. I think the existence of God is more debatable than the concept of original sin. I really do. I mean, I don't understand it. I don't understand how anybody could say that. Trump just sealed the deal for 2020 for real.
But we've never really seen. Are we listening in on this?
No.
Okay. We've never really seen a scholarship given, which is what the president did with the young girl from Philadelphia. We've seen the type of thing where a war hero like the Tuskegee Airman, Brigadier General McGee, we've seen that honored, and that was a lovely moment to have a 100-year-old Tuskegee Airman there with his grandson who wants to be.
Yeah, the left sealed it for us.
But President Trump
yesterday night
that she's going to get a scholarship. President Trump announcing that there is a soldier coming home and reuniting with his wife and children.
Well, Kellen, if you send me an email, I'll read it for sure.
And obviously
I read everything that you say.
That the First Lady bestowed
Send it.
on Rush Limbaugh, where he seemed rather shocked. I mean, this really is a true and full embrace of who this president is, which is somebody from the world of reality television, where he was trying to have these moments.
Well, he had him.
People,
he had him, CNN. I don't know what to tell you.
I'm sure it will resonate with a lot of Americans out there. It was a little unusual, though, at the very beginning. Danny, you've covered Congress for a long time. As soon as he started, we heard a bunch of Republicans starting to chant 4 more years. 4 more years. I don't think anybody's going to beat Trump. I really don't. Like I said, Obama was very articulate to the plutocrats, but Trump knows how to speak to regular Americans.
The fact that he was putting on a show and he wanted people to take away these moments.
Do you want my computer?
On the flip side, it was about the most
I have to show Vin enlightened people, yet he has to show nothing to me to show for Christianity.
First of all, he was much more comfortable in this format.
I have no idea what that means, sarcastic. If you're talking about you've found people that have never committed a sin in their life,
I was just texting with somebody.
yeah, show them to me. I'd like to see it. I don't believe I would. That's not something that is a Christian thing. Like, I would believe that regardless. And I think when you listen to the music that all of us enjoy, none of us gets a picture of humanity that there's any of us that has been able to overcome our sinful nature.
He said, "Here's what I've done. Here's what I want to do. Here's some
I'm just legitimately confused about this.
Talk about the terrorist I killed."
Mm-hmm.
And so
now there's going to be a Democratic response so that you guys can drop off if you want, but I do want to hear what the Dems have to say.
Reelected, or if you're the people around.
Do you support Catholicism?
Exactly what you want.
I don't
for a State of the Union address.
Support the official doctrine of Catholicism, but I think the official doctrine of Catholicism and what your street level Roman Catholic believes are probably not the same thing.
Clearly, it was there. You could see the Republicans standing.
Well, that's what the Rush Limbaugh thing was. Also.
With Rush Limbaugh and guns and religion, and I mean, it was a full embrace of really red meat Republican issues.
All right, hold on for a moment, because we're about to get the Democratic.
So I want to hear what the Dems have to say.
Gretchen, let's listen. Gretchen.
Okay, here's Gretchen.
Good evening. I'm honored to be here and grateful that you are tuning in. I'm Gretchen Whitmer, the 49th governor of the great state of Michigan. Tonight, I'm at my daughter Sherry and Sydney's public school, East Lansing High School.
Night Wish exists.
Families and
parents, teachers, and most importantly, students. I want to thank you all for coming, but tonight I'm going to talk to those of you who are watching at home. I need a lot more than 10 minutes to respond to what the president just said. So instead of talking about what he is saying, I'm going to highlight what Democrats are doing. After all, you can listen to what someone says, but to know the truth, watch what they do. Michiganders are no different from Americans everywhere.
What about the people
We
in
love our
Flint?
families and want a good life today and a better life tomorrow for
What
our
about
kids.
Flint?
We work hard, and we expect our government to work hard for us as well. We have grit and value loyalty, and we still root for the Detroit Lions. We and all Americans might be weary of today's politics, but we must stay engaged. Our country, our democracy, our future demand it. We're capable of great things.
Do you believe
when
in
we
the
work
Pope?
together.
What do you mean, do I
We
believe in the
cannot
Pope? Do
forget
I believe in
that despite the
featuring
dishonesty
priority?
and
No, I
division
do not.
of the last few years, and that we heard tonight from the President of the United States, together we have boundless potential. And young Americans are
There's
proving
21
that
B.
every day.
McDonald. You mean like
By
the
taking
religious
action.
people that go
That's
overseas
what I want to focus on today.
and die in Syria
Monty
with
Scott is
Syrian
13 years old
refugees?
and lives in Muskegon
like those
Heights,
people?
Michigan. Monty Street was covered in potholes.
Didn't see a lot of
They were
atheists in that
ankle
crew.
deep, and he got tired of waiting for them to get fixed. So he grabbed a shovel and a bucket of dirt and filled them in himself. During my campaign, people told me to fix the damn roads because blown tires and broken windshields are downright dangerous. And car repairs take money from rent, childcare, or groceries.
What's up,
And
Jay?
we, the Democrats, are doing something about it.
Amen,
In
Sean.
Illinois, Governor J.B. Pritzker passed a multi-billion-dollar plan to rebuild their roads and bridges. Governor Phil Murphy is replacing lead pipes in New Jersey. All across the country, Democratic leaders are rebuilding bridges, fixing roads, expanding broadband, and cleaning up drinking water. Everyone in this country benefits when we
It's
invest
true,
in
Ben.
infrastructure.
I've known many a
Congressional
Christian who's
Democrats
jumped
have
into a
presented
fight where
proposals to
they
keep
know
us
they couldn't
moving
win and
forward.
very
But President
likely
Trump
would
and the
die.
Republicans in the Senate are blocking the path. When it comes to infrastructure, Monty has tried to do more with a shovel and a pile of dirt than the Republicans in D.C. have with the Oval Office and the U.S. Senate. Bullying people
I'm
on
with you,
Twitter
McDonald.
doesn't fix bridges. It burns them. Our energy should be used to solve problems. And it's true for healthcare too. For me, for so many Americans, healthcare is personal, not political. When I was 30, I
Hey,
became a member of
Lucifer,
the
how you
Distinguished
been, man?
Generation. That means I was saved
Lucifer,
from
send me an
being
email. I want to ask you a
generations
question
of
about an
unborn
update about
for whom
something.
I was the primary caregiver. I was holding down a new job, caring for my newborn daughter.
No, the word in
as well as
Arabic
my
for
mom
black
and
person is not the
Brooklyn
same
cancer
word as
battle.
slave. The word in
I was up
Arabic
all
for
night
slave
with
is
a baby,
abd,
and during the day,
which
I
is
got
why
hit by mom's
Abdul
insurance company when they
is
wrongly
such a
denied me
popular
coverage for
name
chemotherapy.
among Muslim people.
It was
Abd,
hard.
ABD, is a name for
It
slave. It
exposed
has
the
nothing to
harsh
do with
realities of our
black.
workplaces, our healthcare
Now, I will
system,
say in
and our
Saudi
childcare
Arabia,
system. And it
the
changed
term
me.
abd is
I look for
applied
patients
to
and
black
people who
people
are
a
just
lot because they're
talk
racist as
and
hell
no
over there.
action.
But you can't blame
As a
that on the
state senator,
Arabic
I led the
language. That's
Republican
Arabic
governor
people.
and legislature to expand healthcare coverage to more than 680,000 Michiganders under the Affordable Care Act. Today, Democrats from Maine to Montana are expanding coverage and lowering costs. In Kansas, Governor Laura Kelly is working across the aisle to bring Medicaid coverage to tens of thousands. In New Mexico, Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham enshrined ACA protections into law. Every Democrat running for president has a plan to expand health care for all Americans. Every one of them has supported the Affordable Care Act with coverage for people with pre-existing conditions. They may have different plans, but the goal is the same. President Trump sadly has a different plan. He's asking the courts to rip those life-saving protections away. It's pretty simple. Democrats are trying to make your health care better. Republicans in Washington are trying to take it away. Think about kids like 17-year-old Blake Carroll from Idaho, who organized a fundraiser to pay for his mom's colon cancer treatment. Or 19-year-old Ebony Myers from Utah, who sells art to help pay for her own rare genetic disorder treatment. No one should
Right,
have to
Ivan.
crowdsource their health care.
Right, Ivan.
Not in America. But the reality is, not everyone in America has a job with health care and benefits. In fact, many have jobs that don't even pay enough to cover their monthly expenses. It doesn't matter what the president says about the stock market. What matters is that millions of people
Well,
struggling
he
to get
addressed
by
health care,
don't
but
have
he
enough
didn't
money
address
at the end of the month
uninsured
after paying
people.
for transportation,
He didn't touch that at all.
student loans, or
He talked
prescription
about
drugs.
pre-existing conditions,
American
and he
workers
talked
are
about
brave.
not cutting
In my
Medicare, but
own
he
state,
didn't touch
our neighbors in
the
Wisconsin,
28 million
Ohio,
people left uninsured under
Pennsylvania, all
Obamacare,
over the
and the
country.
fact that he killed
Wages have
Obamacare
stagnated
and didn't
while
replace it
CEO
with
pay
anything.
has skyrocketed.
So he did not address health
So
care.
when the president says the economy is
Who
strong,
told you he addressed
my
health care?
question is, strong for whom? Strong for the wealthy who are reaping
No,
the
he
rewards from
didn't,
tax cuts they
Becky.
don't need?
There's a reason that people are crowdsourcing their health care. That's why there's a GoFundMe account that's in my email every other day. What are you talking about? He addressed health care.
Mom picking up extra hours so she can afford her daughter's soccer cleats. Strong for the small business owner who has to make payroll at the end of the month. Michigan invented the middle class, so we know if the economy doesn't work for working people, it just doesn't work. Who fights for hardworking Americans? Democrats do. In the U.S. House, Speaker Nancy Pelosi and Democrats passed a landmark bill on equal pay, another bill to give 30 million Americans a raise by increasing the minimum wage, and groundbreaking legislation to finally give Medicare the power to negotiate lower drug prices for America's seniors and families. Those three bills,
Later,
and
Rich.
more than 275 other bipartisan bills, are just gathering dust.
I mean,
on
look,
Senate Majority Leader
he did
Mitch
talk
McConnell's
about
desk.
lowering prescription drugs and
Senator
things of that
McConnell,
nature, and that's
American
great,
needs
and I think that's
to move
positive.
those
I'm not
bills.
going to say he didn't say anything,
Meanwhile,
but the
Democrats
major
across the country are
concern
getting
that
things
Bernie
done.
brings up is the fact that
Pennsylvania's
we've
Governor
got
Tom Wolf is
literally
expanding the right to overtime
28
pay.
to 45
Michigan is too.
million Americans
Because if you're in the
uninsured, which then
you deserve
ruins
to
them
pay.
financially, and he
To
did
that
not
end,
address
Steve
that at
Cicero and
all.
North Carolina Governor Roy Cooper are working to give hard-working teachers a raise. And speaking of the classroom, Wisconsin Governor Tony Evers unilaterally increased school funding by $65 million last year. In Colorado, Governor Jared Polis has enacted free all-day kindergarten. And in 29 states, we've helped pass minimum wage hikes into
Okay,
law.
that's
which
fair, I
will
blame
lift people out of
gravity.
poverty and
Obviously,
equalize opportunity.
Obamacare is not the solution. I
That's
agree.
strength.
I agree.
That's action. Democracy takes action. And that's why I'm so inspired by young people. They respond to mass shootings, demanding policies that make schools safer. They react to a world that's literally on fire, with fire in their bellies, to push leaders to finally take action on climate change. They take on a road filled with potholes with a shovel and some dirt. It's what gives me great confidence in our future. And it's why sometimes it feels like they're the adults in the room. But it shouldn't have to be that way.
This is a lady
It's
that
not
they had
their
after
mess
Trump.
to clean up. It's ours. The choices we make today create their reality tomorrow. Young people, I'm talking to you and your parents and grandparents. Democrats want safe schools. We want everyone to have a path to a good life. whether it's through a
Republicans don't
union
want safe
apprenticeship,
schools.
a community
Republicans
college,
don't send their
or
kids
your
to school.
university without drowning in debt. We want your water to be clean. We want you to love who you love and to live authentically as your true selves. And we want women to have autonomy over our bodies.
You
want
mean you
our
want
country
women to be able to
welcoming,
kill kids?
and everyone's vote counted. 2020 is a big year. It's the year my daughter Sherry will graduate from high school. It's also the year she'll cast her first ballot, along with millions of young Americans.
She'll probably vote for
The
Trump
two things are connected.
because you're
walking
rich.
across the graduation stage is as important as walking into the voting booth.
How much you want to bet her daughter votes for Trump?
Her future.
I've never
all
heard of
our
this young
futures,
lady.
will be determined not just by their dreams, but by our actions. As we witness the impeachment process in Washington, there are some things each of us, no matter our party, should demand. The truth matters. Facts matter.
I agree.
And no one should be above the law. It's not what those senators say. Tomorrow, it's about what they do that matters. Remember, listen to what people say.
I remember what y'all did in Iowa yesterday.
It's time for action. Generations of Americans are counting on us. Let's not let them down.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening. God bless America.
Stop
Good
it.
night.
You know, I don't know. You know,
West Michigan Governor,
we're still not done with the Iowa caucus. What time is it? 10:43 p.m. And we're only we're at 62%.
Before a likely acquittal in the Senate impeachment trial, a very, very partisan atmosphere was evident throughout the evening. The president appeared to snub the House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's handshake prior to the speech. But it was not the only testing moment between the two leaders. She also didn't deliver the typical introduction to the president. She would normally have said, "I have the high privilege and distinct honor of presenting to you the President of the United States." Instead, look at this.
Members of Congress, the President of the United States.
And at the very end of the speech, after the president had finished and he was walking...
Nothing
away,
much stop with
the
Snoopy.
speaker was clearly seen ripping up what appeared to be the advanced copy of the speech she had. There you see her ripping it up. Jake and Dana are here. Let's get some thoughts, Jake.
Well, I mean, it's just, I thought the whole evening, with a few exceptions, like the Tuskegee Airmen and the soldier returning from Afghanistan, I thought the whole evening was pretty partisan on both sides. President Trump gave a speech that was really not aimed in for most of it, on uniting the room or uniting the country. It was aimed at appealing to conservatives with red meat Republican issues. It included some things that were just not true. He said at one point, I've also made an ironclad pledge to American families. We will always protect patients with pre-existing conditions. That's a guarantee. That's just not factual. I mean, his administration has supported getting rid of those pre-existing conditions. In fact, here's the falsehood the president said. Let's roll that tape.
I've also made an ironclad pledge to American families. We will always protect patients with pre-existing conditions.
No, I'm not going to turn off the fake news. I'm not going to do that. My thing is, if it's a Democrat situation, I'm going to listen to Fox. If it's a Republican situation, I'm going to listen to CNN. That's how I roll.
Lawsuits, they've supported legislation to get rid of it. And
tell me what's fake about what the man is saying. Tell me what's untrue about what the man is saying.
Pre-existing conditions, what they refuse to commit to is making sure that
we've got to listen to people. We've got to listen to people who disagree with us.
I mean, it's just a falsehood, and I understand that most people probably don't know that, and you really have to be a policy wonk and understand that.
To Death 3, do me a favor. Send me an email about the Japanese economic system, please.
The president was saying things that are just unequivocally good, such as, lower lower unemployment for various minority groups and the like, in which Democrats were seen not applauding. So, I mean, I just thought that you can tell that we're in the middle of not just an impeachment and an impeachment trial, but a very divided time in this country.
There was no reference at all to the impeachment of the president. Didn't make any reference.
No sarcasm. Obama did not lay the foundation for Trump's economy.
And that's what our colleagues at the White House.
Trump went in a diametrically opposite perspective of Obama philosophically on economics. And that's why he was mocking the GDP and saying, GDP is never going to go where Trump says it's going to go. And it did. I mean, let's just be real here.
Because they really wanted him to knock it out of the park in a way that was kind of, bigger picture. But to your point about the whole partisan aspect of it, it really was astonishing when you think about it. State of the Union speeches are usually when everybody's on their best behavior.
Yeah.
I think about this speech more than the person who is in the White House, more than the person who is in the speaker's chair, but about the institutions of both. And that was out the window from the beginning, whether or not the president saw her.
To Death, send me an email, bro. VinandSori@gmail.com. I really want to look into that.
At all.
And Ben Webb, don't forget, send me the
her caucus on more than one occasion to
economy thing I forgot
present
about.
themselves with decorum and so on and so forth. She was just angry.
She ripped up the speech.
She ripped up the speech. I was just texting to the source close to her who said, I know this is probably a little obvious, but that was not planned. That was an emotional moment. That was a genuine reaction to what she just heard the president
She ripped
do.
it up and then she threw it.
And she threw it down. And there are lots of reasons for that. Well, I mean, just on the substance of it, one of many reasons she would argue is because of what you just said about healthcare. Him telling the American people and the world that he thinks that pre-existing conditions should be.
He's going to guarantee it. It's a guarantee.
Should be guaranteed when he is in fact in court fighting to
take it away.
Dismantle Obamacare. I was at a meeting with her and with Chuck Schumer, the senator, and they predicted that he would do exactly that. They're also trying to turn the page back to healthcare, so they were prepared for that. But the fact that both sides, everybody is so on edge, and even in this moment where usually they try to be on their best behavior again, they didn't even try.
Well, and the
so obvious.
And another thing, I mean, you can tell this. There's very little difference, I thought, in terms of content between what the president.
10-minute warning, guys. 10-minute warning.
Tuskegee Airmen, the soldier coming home, the Trillion Trees Initiative, things like that. But in terms of most of the policy, it's really not that different from the stump speeches he gives, except this was teleprompter.
Right, Dark. Trump must have asked the Russians to screw with Iowa.
Advance copy. He stuck to that teleprompter. He barely deviated at all.
Right, and when you think about the way, for example, that he talked about immigration, right? It was exactly, first of all, he used terms that a lot of Democrats and even some moderate Republicans don't like illegal aliens, criminal aliens, sanctuary cities, terms that are really part of the debates going on. Stuff he says on the campaign trail, stuff his base loves, stuff that Republicans love. But that's not bringing the room together. There are areas, obviously, where Republicans and Democrats could come together to work on immigration reform. And he could talk about, this is how I envision immigration reform. You get this, I get this. We come together. But that's not what he did. This was a very partisan speech in an election year. And it really shows you what he is banking on for re-election.
But he said that the United States will never be a socialist country. We know what he was.
That we expected.
Yeah, we expected that. He said something similar last year as well. Anderson, we're told that several lawmakers boycotted the session. Democrats, they didn't show up. And during the course of the speech, Anderson, several of them walked out in protest.
Yeah, and Speaker Pelosi seemed to be admonishing at least somebody, I'm not sure who it was, who it seemed like there was some, I think at the mention of guns in the Second Amendment, there was something that Speaker Pelosi was kind of here with our political panel. John King, I mean, you've heard a lot of these speeches. What did you make of tonight? Was it as partisan as
I want to hear what Van Jones says. I want to hear how he makes Trump a racist after all those people of color were featured.
When Speaker Pelosi's confident she's going to keep her majority, but she's trying to stoke it up because of the impeachment criticism. The Senate is in play and the presidency is in play. You saw it right there. The Speaker ripping up the speech. Interestingly, the Michigan governor mentioning impeachment at the end of her speech, talking about the senators, the big vote tomorrow. She says, the truth is the truth, the facts are facts, the law is the law. The president didn't touch it. She decided to. The Democrats.
Why didn't she touch Iowa?
Here in Washington.
Why didn't she talk about Iowa?
On her own, a conscious decision. We're going to go there with the American people watching tonight.
Why didn't you go there to Iowa?
Think about this: the economy, immigration, and the border wall.
Wow, these people are so full of it.
Judges, guns, school prayer, and a Medal of Freedom for Rush Limbaugh. This is about the base. Period.
There was also the moment when the Republicans started chanting 4 more years. I just want to play that. Let's watch.
Tim Pool, Blake. I listen to a lot of Tim Pool. I listen to a lot of Jimmy Dore. Jimmy Dore is my favorite. I think Jimmy Dore is the best. And I listen to.
Have you heard that before? Is that
Anthony Brian Logan? He's a right-wing guy. He's a black Trump guy. So I listen to him. Most of the time I disagree with him, but I listen to him to provide some balance on the independent media.
I think John is right in terms of reaching out to the base and all those hot button issues, the sort of cultural issues that we always talk about. So there was that in terms of the base, but then there were all all of these minorities, right, who he featured throughout the evening. I think most of the folks who got recognition and stood up were people of color. There was Tim Scott. There
People
was
of color. Yeah, he
benefited
did.
from the Opportunity Zone.
So you guys are saying that he's only appealing to his base. Sorry, that was not his base.
That. And, listen, Donald Trump's administration is probably the least diverse ever in the history of administrations over the last 30 or 40 years. The Republican Party itself, the least diverse Republican Party we've seen in quite some time. But you had those appeals.
Then there's this guy named Amazing Lucas, but Amazing Lucas is more of like an entertainer, and I'm not necessarily a fan of how he engages LGBTQ topics. So I don't really look at him as he's more of a street level guy. He's not somebody who's like an analyst. So if I want to hear what are like hard right wingers thinking at the street level, I listen to him.
This is one speech, and we know who Donald Trump is on Twitter and on the road. So it's hard, I think, for him to stick to this. But for just average Americans who are tuning in, I think for this hour, they did that in a very effective way.
Yeah, I mean, I think this was, as we say, I think it turned out as we expected. It was a blueprint for the re-election, the touting of the economy, the red meat for the base. The characterization of the opposition as socialists who want to take away your health care and give it to illegal immigrants. And
Bo's a little bit sanctimonious for me. I'm not really a fan of Bo. I like Jimmy Dore. Jimmy Dore is more kind of out about who he is.
I think was meant to
but yeah, Bo's all right.
Some of these women who are nervous about him. He's running a huge gender gap. He needs to close it. I think divisiveness is one of the reasons. So I think that is one of those things. One of his motivations, and then the reunification of the family at the end and so on, which was a reality.
The Hill,
touch, but
Rising, I listen to them a lot. Well, I'm starting to listen to them a lot.
So this was a very, very well-crafted re-election. I'll leave the fact checking to the fact checkers, and it will enrage a lot of his opponents.
Thank you, Leah.
What he wanted to do. The question is,
that's a high honor coming from you. Seriously.
On it, and how much does he carry through on these themes moving forward?
There was the reality show touch that you were talking about, which I think was very effective.
Well, Zonia, there's no original sin, so give all the kids the guns because they're all going to do great things with it. They're all going to do great constructive things with it. There's no original sin. All you have is nothing but good guys with guns.
Her lip, refusing to smile, applauding sometimes, and standing a couple of times. But you can tell that the caucus was looking at her. There were members, as Wolf mentioned, who left. And then, of course, the ripping up of the speech in anger, I think.
Mike Weber's apology. I've watched so many apologetics videos, I might have. Let me see if I remember his face.
And it was one of those moments where you honestly see this clash between these two powerful and important political figures, and he wouldn't shake her hand. She held it out, she ripped up his speech, and she wouldn't smile and walked out. I mean, it was remarkable to me, and honestly, I couldn't take my eyes off of Nancy Pelosi at the beginning, not even having a conversation with Mike Pence, standing there as if they had nothing to say to each other.
They had some early words. Early words on.
Very few.
After a while, it stopped.
Send me the email, Kellen Joss.
The last 24 hours.
Because I have no idea what you believe about this stuff.
That's what I think. The Iowa caucus was a debacle. And this was a very strong speech, and it shows what he thinks he needs to do to win. And I think actually he's very clinical about this. I think you're exactly right. He knows he's got to give a lot of red meat to his base, and he gave it. For religious liberty, abortion, all of it, the military, etc. But he's doing something else, and it has to do with how he's going to manage race in this thing. And there seems to be a trade-off between the Latinos and the African Americans. That's what you see. He went hard on the sanctuary city stuff. Mm-hmm. That is very, very disturbing. It turns out sanctuary cities are actually safer than non-sanctuary cities. The Cato Institute, which is libertarian, has come out and said that immigrants are committing less crime. So for some reason, he thinks that doubling down on the anti-immigrant piece is a big part of this thing. At the same time, warning the Democrats, what he was saying to African Americans can be effective.
You may
Yeah.
not like it, but he mentioned HBCUs. Our black colleges have been struggling for a long time. A bunch of them have gone under.
Yep.
He threw a lifeline to them
Yep.
in real life, in his budget. He talked about that. He talked
Yep.
about the criminal justice reform. He talked
Yep.
about opportunity zones.
School choice,
He
which
talked
is a
about
big
school choice.
issue. Yeah.
Listen.
Yep.
Wake up.
He doesn't have to be effective. He has to be effective to move margins at key states.
And the thing about
Yep.
it is, and I think that we got to wake up, folks.
Van Jones is
There's
right
a whole
here.
bubble thing that goes on. We say, well, he said S-hole nations, therefore all black people are going to hate him forever. That ain't necessarily so.
Nope.
And I think what you're going to see him do is say, you may not like my rhetoric, but look at my results, look at my record to black people.
Yep.
If he narrowcasts that, it's going to be effective. Which means, as we move through this primary process, we've got to pay a lot more attention both to what's going on with the Latino vote. Are we going to get
Well, Van Jones, you should be happy. See, this is what I'm talking about.
A split off, especially for black male voters.
This is what I'm talking
We've
about.
got to be clinical about this stuff. We get so emotional about it. That was a warning to us, a warning shot across the bow of Democrats that he's going after enough black folks to cause this problem. It's not just the white suburban voters. He's going after black folks.
The problem. Can I just
This is what I'm talking about, the anti-Trumpism. So here you have a black guy, and he just listed off HBCUs, historically black colleges and universities, which have been going under economically. Trump goes to help them. That's a warning. School choice, which if I didn't have a very assertive and intelligent black mother, I literally probably wouldn't have been here, because it was either my school zone was Taft and she made it so I went to Truman, and that's literally because of who I was, literally the difference between life and death. School choice, that's a terrible thing. Criminal justice reform, which was started by the Clintons, by the way, the one where she called us all super predators. I mean, this is what I'm talking about. When you are anti-Trump, good and not pro-America, especially in Van Jones's case, pro-Black America, good things that he does for people get metastasized into things that you need to be warned against. Instead of him saying, you know what? We had 8 years of Obama. He did nothing for HBCUs. He did nothing for school choice. He did a damn nothing about criminal justice reform. He did none of that in 8 years. This dude did it in 4. If we want the black vote, we need to actually do something for these people. Instead, what does it get styled as? Oh man, this is like it's a bad thing that he did. And then it becomes, he can steal black voters on the edges from us, and then we will lose power. Instead of saying, this is good for black people. This is what I'm saying when I'm saying I'm not anti-Trump, I am pro-America. They're not the same thing. Van Jones just demonstrated it. You know, I appreciate the fact that Van Jones talked about the list of things that Trump did for black folks, but man, look, I could never vote. Look, the black stuff that he did is great. I appreciate it. I could never vote for him because he didn't even touch all those millions of uninsured Americans. And to me, that has got to be the number one priority. But man, these people and their obsession with power. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Unfreaking real. The Democratic Party has a history of being fake as fuck on policies to bolster POC communities. Unbelievable. Anyway, guys. I got to get out of here soon. But good Lord, what a world we're in. What a world we're in. Yeah, you don't have to like Trump to admit the truth. He does something good. He does something good. You don't have to like the man to, good night. Vote for me, Vin. I'll pander hard. No, you give me a bone, I give you a bone. That's the quid pro quo. I don't think Trump cares about black people, and I also don't think Trump would be particularly thrilled if one of his beautiful daughters married a black man. I'm under no impression that Trump likes any of us. I'm also under no impression that any of those Dems like any of us either. They've demonstrated that pretty easily. So now I'm like, okay, well, between two racist parties, which one is going to advance our agenda the most? Well, we had a black president in office. He didn't do a damn thing for us. He had so little respect for us that he couldn't even pander to us. And then I got this guy who wants to win, and so he's going to pander to us. Well, good. B. Cherry, I don't think there's anything wrong with lowering healthcare prices to where they're affordable. That's a good step in the right direction. I think that's great. My problem is we've got a bunch of people uninsured, and that is not the sum total of the problem. Okay? So I think it was some ridiculous stat like 84% of people diagnosed with cancer blow through all their savings in the first 9 to 12 months or something like that. That's my problem. That's my issue. America could pay for many, many good things by taking 10% off the military budget, and the military wouldn't really miss it. I agree. Like I said, we've lapped the world 98 times in military capability. Nobody's a direct threat to us. Nobody. So why we need to continue to worship the God of fortresses is beyond me. I have no idea why. Is a communist who panders a red pander? No. And here's the other thing, Zonia. I have to disagree with you. When Amy Klobuchar and all those silly people at the DNC debate a couple of weeks ago were talking about, I would go door to door and talk to white people about how horrible they are to black people and da-da-da-da-da. And Steyer was talking about climate change affecting black people and all the rest of it. That is pandering. But when you actually pass legislation and policies that actually have a line item in your actual budget, that's not pandering, that's actioning. That's not the same thing. All the lip service that Democrats do to black people in the black communities, that's pandering. But when you actually action stuff for HBCUs and you action school choice and all these other things, these are actual actions that are being done. That's not pandering. That's not the same thing. So the Democrats, because they've been able to assume the black vote for so long, have gotten to the point of just like complete and total disrespect of black people now. This is completely disrespectful. Yeah. 100%. They pander to blacks, and they also pander to LGBT people. Obviously. What actual laws were passed to protect LGBT folks from Democrats? Yeah, Steyer. Now, you, Blake, have had the misfortune of having to see a Tom Steyer commercial. I haven't. I don't know. I haven't seen any of these commercials from the big homie. So, yeah. Yeah, we become, political feathers in these people's hats. And there you go. Yeah, I heard 90%, Jason Barnish. First it was 90%. Now it's down to 60%. Things are going in the right direction. Yeah, but Kellendross, the black policies that Trump has passed in these 3.5 years are not horrible policies. They're great policies. They're awesome policies. that Barack Hussein Obama inexplicably was not able to even put up for a vote. So figure that one out. But yeah, no, I hear you. I hear you. The Republicans are, they have their convictions. They'll look you right in the face and they'll say no. And then, but here's what happened though, Kellen Dross. What happened the last time a Democrat looked you right in the face and told you what you were going to do? You know who that was? That was Beto O'Rourke. Say what you want about him, but Beto said, hell yeah, we're taking away your AR-15. And that was the end of him. Right? So the Democrats, and that was Democrats punishing Democrats. That wasn't even the rest of the nation. Has Oreo tried ice cream yet? Yes. Yes, he has, and he loves it. Hello, Vin. Who are you pissing off tonight? I don't know. I think I did a pretty good job with Kellen Dross and Sarcast. Me mentioning Original Sin seemed to have gotten under their skin, made them really angry at me. So my life isn't complete. If I'm in a chat with Sarcast and Kellen Dross and they're not angry at me, I feel like I failed somewhere. And I have to do a lot of soul searching. If I'm in a room with Sarcast and he's not like wanting to strangle me to death, and then having to deal with the fact that he could never do so, I have to do some soul searching. Because I've seen Sarcast. I'm pretty sure I could take him. Does he like mayonnaise? No, we're raising our son to be a Christian. So no mayonnaise for him. Do you think that Obama's lack of action on black issues has to do with ignoring them and instead how hard he pushed towards healthcare doing when he had the Democratic control of the House and the Senate? No, Lulcifer, because you can walk and chew gum at the same time. This president has done it. He's done a whole bunch of things. His big thing was the wall, but he was able to take care of prison reform, HBCUs, school choice, among other things that he did for black folk. So Obama could have done the same thing. It just wasn't a priority for him because Obama assumed the black vote. I don't think Trump is doing this stuff because he loves black people. I think he's doing it because he immediately started running for 2020 the minute he got into office. And so he's doing the arithmetic and he's saying if I can give these guys enough bones, they'll vote for me. But Obama was like, man, these people are voting for me. I'm the first black president. And they're not going to not vote for me. They're not going to vote for who was the other guy? I forgot, the Mormon dude. They're not going to vote for him over me. So he didn't feel the need to do anything for us. So a black president is the worst thing that can happen to black people. Hillary Clinton pulling aside the black people who confronted her to control the narrative and trying to allay their concerns and needs with empty rhetoric is basically the story of the Democratic Party. Correct. Black people are very, very forgiving people. To this day, black people love them some Abraham Lincoln, who was racist as hell and said he believed in white supremacy. We're very forgiving people. LeBron James went back to Cleveland after the owner treated him like an escaped slave. We're very forgiving people. If Hillary would have said, you know what? I said that. I said you guys are super predators. I supported legislation that really fucked up your life. You know what I'm going to do? Part of my repentance is I'm going to make that a priority once I become president. Completely turn everything around. You notice who didn't show up for Hillary? Black men. All you had to do is apologize, but she won't. White supremacist not going to apologize to you. She's all friends with KKK, James Byrd, and all the rest of it. Look, man, you don't have to be my friend. You don't have to like me. I don't even care if you're in the KKK. Tell me what your policies are. That's all I care about. You got to walk that talk, prosthetic leg man. Look, Sarcast, I'm about to be in the best shape of my life, my guy. I've already been a pretty dangerous guy. Yeah, they don't feel like they have to win us over. I mean, look, you know, what has any of them said about LGBT people right now? Nothing. Neither one of them are saying anything to the LGBT community. You know why? You're 3 to 5% of the population. We're 12% of the population. They're just doing the arithmetic. It's all. To be fair to black people, I don't like Hillary either. I have to disagree with the black president. The worst thing for black. Another Clinton would be, well, I don't. I think I need more case studies in order to refute you. But right now, I think you're right, just based on the case studies. I mean, really, does anyone all cats like Hillary? I don't know, Kellendra. Somehow she beat Bernie Sanders, just like Pete Buttigieg just did. Don't you know? Don't you know she beat Pete Buttigieg beat Bernie Sanders by almost a clean 2%. I just go, what would Jesus do all over you? Ah, that's true. It's true. That's such a good point. I'd be stuck in my cognitive dissonance. My naked love of violence contrasted with my deep love for Christ. Inshallah, my deep love for Christ would win out. And I'd let you escape with your life. That's the type of guy I am. All right. Did that really happen? Did that really happen? Did the Iowa caucus, was there really a coin flip for a delegate? I thought I'm going to shoot an Iowa caucus video soon, but I couldn't believe that this is happening. Look at this. Two-night presidential town hall starting tomorrow. Unbelievable world we live in. I'm gonna have to. Any recommended reading that Paul was a Hebrew of Hebrews and Pharisees from internal evidences? Email me. I have a couple things that you might be interested in, but they're pretty obscure as far as literature goes. I have to Google this coin toss thing because I really don't believe this. Coin toss delegates. No way. No way. I don't believe it. Coin toss to break the precinct tie. This cannot be real. I don't believe it. If this is real, I'm done with this night.
Making history. Bernie Sanders, and you're going to say heads or tails, and I'm just going to wait and see what happens. Yep, we're just going to let it roll. This is it. Ready? Tails. And I'm just going to wait. It's tails. That's what I'm talking about! Which one is it? All go live!
All right, guys. right, guys. All right, guys. In 2016, Hillary won 6 out of 6 coin tosses against Bernie. All right. In 2016, Hillary won 6 out of 6 coin tosses against Bernie. All right. It's over. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. With the it's over. Freaking Democratic Party. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. With the it's over. Freaking Democratic Party. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. With the it's over. Freaking Democratic Party. I'm done. I'm done. Okay, there you go. The echo is done. Oh my God. Well, thank you guys for hanging out with me for so long. I appreciate it. I really do. I was not in a chipper mood, but I am in a chipper mood now. I'm going to do my nightly exercises and watch The Witcher and enjoy my wife's company. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, there's nothing else I can tell you people, you beautiful people. Do the best you can with what you have. Love your neighbor. Take care of each other. Middle America. We are the media. Till next time, guys.